Chapter 111. Auntie Lu had always been so polite, which made Zhao Yun a little embarrassed. She had finally gotten something good and sent it over, but Auntie Lu wanted to return it. Zhao Yun knew Auntie Lu's character. Even if she said she didn't want it, Auntie Lu would definitely give it to her. Fortunately, these cloth shoes were not worth much, or else she would be embarrassed to accept it. "Thank you, Auntie." Auntie Lu smiled and waved her hand. "You're welcome. I have a lot of free time at home anyway. Daodu is a child and he grows up quickly. Soon, the shoes won't fit him." "Auntie Lu, teach me later." "I'll learn too," Zhao Yun said. Her needlework was still passable, and she could only mend clothes. She really didn't know how to make shoes. "Okay, but Yun, didn't your mother teach you this before?" Zhao Yun shook her head. "No, I forgot when I taught it when I was young." "It's okay. Learn from Auntie in the future. Auntie will teach you." "Okay." Auntie Lu put down the needlework in her hand and put Zhao Yun's fish into a wooden basin. She put some water in it and prepared to eat it at night. The men in the family went out to work. Auntie Lu also had 2 sons, and they hadn't separated yet. Now, one daughter-in-law went back to her mother's house, and the other went out to gather pigweed. The people in the countryside would raise some livestock. Other than some chickens and ducks, they would also raise pigs. A pig could be sold during the new year. Not only could they get some money, but they could also leave some for their family. Then, they wouldn't have to sell meat anymore. Zhao Yun saw that Auntie Lu's pigsty was built outside. In ancient times, pigs were not fed with pig feed, but with pigweed or bran. This way of raising pigs could save a lot of food, and the pigs tasted better than the pork of the 21st century. "Mother, I'm back." Not far away, a woman in her early 30s walked in. It was Auntie Lu's eldest daughter-in-law, Zhou Shi. Zhou Shi was wearing plain clothes, and her hair was combed neatly. It was probably because he had been working for a long time that his skin was a little dark. He was 30 years old and looked a little old, but one look and one could tell that he was a person who was doing his job. Madame Zhou carried a basket on her back, which was filled with pigweed. She had gone to gather pigweed just now. Seeing Zhao Yun coming, Mrs. Zhou also greeted Zhao Yun with a smile. "Yun, you're here." "Hello, sister-in-law." Madame Zhou smiled and put down the basket in her hand. "Mother, I'm going to feed the pigs. It's spring, so there's a lot of pigweed. Our little pigs can grow fat." "Huh, that's good. Go ahead." "Yes." There were 3 little pigs in the pigsty. The big pig had been killed and sold at the end of last year. These were all captured not long ago. Mrs. Zhou skillfully put the pigweed into the pigsty and muttered a few words. A few piglets ran over and began to fight for the pigweed. Zhao Yun looked at the piglets. They were pink and tender and looked quite cute. Hearing Mrs. Zhou's words, Zhao Yun began to think about whether she should raise 2 little pigs. Not to mention exchanging them for money. After killing them, Daodu could eat a lot of pork. Pigs ate pigweed and bran, so it didn't cost much to raise a pig. Chapter 112. The price of a piglet is a little more expensive than the price of pork. My piglet weighs 15 kilograms, and it costs 20 copper coins per kilogram. So, a piglet costs 600 copper coins. Aunt Lu explained. Zhao Yun nodded. It sounded a little expensive, but when the piglet grew up, she could earn a lot more. "Why, do you want to raise a pig too?" Aunt Lu asked with concern. Zhao Yun shook her head and said, "I don't plan to raise one now. I don't have a pigsty at home, and I usually have to take care of Daodu. I can't get away." Aunt Lu nodded and said, "That's right. The most important thing now is to take care of the child. Fortunately, Daodu is sensible and can save you a lot of trouble." Speaking of Daodu, Aunt Lu's eyes were filled with a gentle smile. Auntie Lu liked children. In ancient times, most people preferred boys. However, although Auntie Lu had 2 sons and both sons were married, she didn't have a grandson until now. She had 3 granddaughters. The first branch gave birth to 2 daughters, and the second branch gave birth to 1 daughter. So now, Aunt Lu hoped that the 2 daughters-in-law would continue to give birth to a grandson. The more anxious she was to give birth to children, the more the two daughters-in-law's bellies didn't show any signs of pregnancy. Although Aunt Lu was depressed, there was nothing she could do. Although the two daughters-in-law hadn't given birth to a son, she was still good to her daughters-in-law. If it were in other families, the mother-in-law would probably pick on the daughters-in-law every day. God Lu didn't say anything, but the two daughters-in-law felt guilty and were more filial to Aunt Lu. Usually, if there was any work at home, they would rush to do it. Auntie Lu rarely interfered. "Mother, I'm done feeding them. Now, I'll send some water to Father and the others," Mrs. Zhou said. Zhao looked at Mrs. Zhou and felt a little restless. She was really hardworking. Aunt Lu called Mrs. Zhou and said, "You've just finished. Take a rest." Mrs. Zhou wiped the beads of sweat on her forehead and said with a smile, "Mother, I'm fine. I'm not tired." "All right then." Looking at Madame Zhou's departing figure, Auntie Lu sighed and said, "My daughter-in-law is good in every way. She's hardworking, but she's not like Yun. She's only left with a boy." Zhao Yuner smiled awkwardly and comforted Auntie Lu. "Auntie Lu, don't worry. You'll have a grandson to hold. Boys and girls were all the same. People had to be filial. Auntie, don't you agree?" Auntie Lu chuckled and said, "You're the only one who knows how to talk. I don't care. It's just that the other villagers won't gossip if there's a boy. Sigh, but let's take it slow. Our Lu family has never done anything bad in our lifetime. I believe that we won't be left without descendants." Zhao Yuner responded and then asked, "Auntie Lu, I heard you say that your bitch gave birth to a puppy. Now I want to catch one. Can you give me one?" Auntie Lu quickly said, "Of course. I'm thinking about how to send it in the future. Come, I'll catch one for you." As she spoke, Auntie Lu led Zhao Yuner to the kennel. The kennel was close to the pigsty and not in the house. It was arranged outside. The dog could also guard the pigsty. If someone came to steal the pigs and made a noise, the family would know. Chapter 113. On top of the straw lay a big white dog, and there were 4 or 5 puppies in the kennel. Among these puppies, 4 of them had white fur, just like the female dog. The puppies were all lying on the female dog's body, sucking milk with all their might. The puppies weren't very big, just a little bigger than a mouse. Looking at these cute puppies, Zhao Yun couldn't wait to get one and play with it in her hands. However, these puppies couldn't be casually touched by strangers. The female dog protected the puppies. If Zhao Yun touched the puppies, she would definitely be bitten by the female dog. At this moment, another puppy's whining came from the kennel. Zhao Yun took a closer look and found that there was a small black dog curled up in a small corner. It was whining as if it was crying. This black puppy's fur color was clearly different from the other dogs in the kennel. The black puppy's body was thinner than the other white puppies. Looking at its pitiful appearance, it really made one's heart ache. Auntie Lu said, "Sigh, little black is being ostracized again." Zhao looked at Auntie Lu, puzzled. She didn't understand what Auntie Lu meant. Auntie Lu explained, "This little black's fur is different from the other puppies. Every time it wants to drink milk, my big white won't let it drink. It has to be the other puppies who finish drinking before it can drink a few mouthfuls. Little black often whines when it's hungry. It's really pitiful." When Zhao Yun heard this, she felt that little black was pitiful, but she also wanted to laugh. Auntie Lu's big white was really interesting. Normally, female dogs would treat their children equally, but because little black's fur color didn't follow her, she treated little black so differently. After Auntie Lu finished speaking, she called out to Zhao Yuna, "Yuner girl, take a look yourself. There are so many puppies here. Which one do you want?" Zhao Yuner glanced at them. In fact, she didn't care about any of them. Little Hay was the most pitiful. It was still whimpering, so she said to Auntie Lu, "Auntie Lu, why don't you give Little Hay to me?" "Little Black? That's good too. If you bring it back, Xiao Hay won't be bullied anymore," said Aunt Lu. She bent down and picked up Blackie from the kennel. Dabai glanced at Auntie Lu, but he didn't have much of a reaction. Instead, he licked the other puppies that were nursing. Dabai didn't care about Little Hay at all. After Auntie Lu put some distance between them, she handed Little Hay to Zhao Yuner and said to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner girl, Little Hay is yours." You can take it back. Zhao Yuna held little He in her hands. Little He's body was a little soft. Once it was in Zhao Yuner's hands, little He stopped whimpering. It stared at Zhao Yuner with its black eyes. It looked very obedient. This little black puppy seemed to be intelligent. Zhao Yuner immediately liked it. She rubbed little He's head and said to little He, "Little He, don't cry. I'll feed you when we go back. I'll treat you well." Little He whimpered twice, as if it was responding to Zhao Yun. Then, it licked Zhao Yuner's hand with its small, soft tongue. "Auntie Lu, little He is very intelligent," Zhao Yuner said with a smile. "Dabai is smart too. It's normal that little He is smart too." "Oh, Auntie Lu, what should I feed little He when we go back? Can little He eat rice?" Chapter 114. Auntie Lu nodded. "Of course it can. Puppies are different from humans. Humans can't eat rice for a month or two, but puppies can." Zhao Yun breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. Otherwise, she wouldn't know where to find milk to feed this puppy. Little Yun, it will take a few more months for little Black to grow up. Don't worry, there's no rush. Ha! Zhao Yun carried little Black back from Auntie Lu's place. Little Black glanced at Dabai and whimpered a few times. On the way back, he stopped crying. Along the way, little Black's black eyes glanced at Zhao Yun from time to time. When they reached home, Zhao Yun called Daodu over. "Daodu, Mom caught a puppy for you." Daodu was playing with mud in a corner with Zhao Yun. Upon hearing that Zhao Yun had caught a puppy, he immediately ran over. "Mom, where's the puppy?" Zhao Yun handed the puppy in her hands to Daodu. "Isn't it cute?" Daodu stared at little Black in Zhao Yun's hands and tapped it. Little animals were also very fond of children. Daodu immediately fell in love with little Black, and a bright smile appeared on his little face. "It's cute, Mom. It's really cute. Can I hug it?" Daodu's eyes sparkled as he looked at Zhao Yun with anticipation. Zhao Yun smiled. "Of course you can. Come, Daodu, be careful not to drop it." "Okay." Little Black didn't resist at all when he was in Daodu's hands. He obediently laid on Daodu's little hands and even stuck out his pink tongue to lick Daodu's palm. It tickled when he licked it, and Daodu giggled. "Mother, it's licking my hand." Daodu giggled. "Does Daodu like it?" "I like it." Daodu carefully carried little Black into his arms, afraid that he would hurt little Black. "Daodu, give it a name," Zhao Yun said. The little puppy had to have a name. Daodu glanced at little Black and said, "Mother, his fur is black, so let's call him Little Black." Zhao Yun's mouth twitched. "Little Black? Huh, oh, wouldn't that be the same as not having a name?" "Mother, can't I call him Little Black?" Daodu asked carefully. Zhao Yun patted Daodu's head and said, "Of course you can." "Okay, then we'll have a Little Black in our family from now on." Daodu hugged Little Black happily. "Let's go make a kennel for Little Black." Zhao Yun led Daodu to a dilapidated wooden basin. She put some grass in it and placed 2 unwanted rags on top. "Mother, Little Black is hungry. Shouldn't we get him something to eat?" Daodu asked. Little Black licked Daodu's hand, and it looked like he was hungry. Dabai didn't give him any milk at Auntie Lu's place, so it was normal for him to be hungry. "Okay, Mother will get him something to eat." Zhao Yun went into the kitchen. She had saved some fish soup for lunch, and there was still some porridge left over. Zhao Yun mixed the fish soup and porridge together and brought it to Little Black. Little Black smelled the fish soup, probably because it tasted good. Then he crawled over and started eating from the bowl. Not long after, Little Black finished the bowl of fish soup and porridge. Chapter 115. After Little He ate Zhao Yun's meal, it became even more attached to Daodu. For the whole afternoon, Daodu and Zhao Tianfu played with Daodu, while Zhao Yun was busy with other things. The vegetable garden had to be tended, watered, and fertilized every day. As evening approached, Zhao Yun began to prepare dinner again. In the evening, one dish was braised fish, and the other was boiled snakehead, plus a bowl of wild vegetables. Although there were only 3 dishes, it was a lot, and they were few, so it was enough to eat. Even including Zhao Tianan, there were only 4 people who came to eat at night. None of them had a big appetite. But what Zhao Yun didn't expect was that Zhao Ping and Liang Jinxiao also came at night. Zhao Yun thought that they came over for something, so after asking, they wanted to stay for dinner. The 2 of them happened to come at dinner time, and there was no notice before. She didn't add 2 more servings for dinner. After listening to Liang Jinxiao's explanation, Zhao Yun could not let them stay. After all, it was only the mother of the original owner who had no choice but to come over for dinner. If she refused, she would be a bit too much. The meal wasn't ready yet, so Zhao Yun continued to be busy in the kitchen. Liang Jinxiao wanted to go into the kitchen to help Zhao Yun, but was persuaded to rest outside by Zhao Yun. This time, Liang Jinxiao came over, pulled a long face, and still felt embarrassed. Zhao Yun asked her to sit and rest, but it made her a little restless. Zhao Ping smelled the fragrance coming from the kitchen and couldn't help but swallow her saliva. She was curious about how Zhao Yun's food could be so fragrant. Smelling this smell, she felt that it was unusually captivating. No matter what it was, it must be good food. In comparison, eating at Zhao Yun's place was much better than eating at old Zhao's place. Zhao Ping didn't eat much at noon. Now that she was hooked by the aroma, her stomach began to growl. Zhao Ping grumbled, "Zhao Yun, why are you cooking so slowly? Are you doing it on purpose? I'm starving. Hurry up and serve me the dishes." Zhao Ping thought that Zhao Yun couldn't hear her in the kitchen, but in fact, Zhao Yun could hear her clearly. He snorted coldly. If not for Liang Jinxiao's presence, she would have kicked Zhao Ping out. Zhao Yun knew that once she chased Zhao Ping away, Liang Jinxiao would definitely feel embarrassed and would probably leave as well. She didn't eat at noon. If she didn't eat at night, her body wouldn't be able to stand it. Liang Jinxiao glared at Zhao Ping. "Can you stop talking? It's not easy for Yun to cook." "Mother, aren't I hungry? Aren't you hungry?" Liang Jinxiao touched his stomach. He was indeed hungry. "Let's wait a little longer. Anyway, it should be ready soon." After the rice in the pot was stewed, Zhao Yun brought out the rice and invited them to eat. Seeing Daodu standing outside, Zhao Yun asked, "Daodu, why don't you come in? It's time to eat." Hearing Zhao Yun's words, Daodu ran to Zhao Yun and hugged Zhao Yun's leg. He glanced at Zhao Ping. Obviously, he saw that Zhao Ping was scared. Last time, Zhao Ping slapped Daodu. Daodu was probably still traumatized. Chapter 116. Zhao Yun's words coaxed Daodu. Before the others sat down, Zhao Ping saw the dishes on the table and began to eat. "Zhao Yun, I didn't expect you to have so much delicious food at home." Zhao Ping muttered as she ate. Zhao Yun looked at Zhao Ping and was very disgusted. The people at the table had not started eating, but she ate first. She said to Zhao Ping in a displeased tone, "Mother hasn't even touched her chopsticks, and you're eating by yourself. Isn't that bad? You're already an adult, don't you know the rules?" Zhao Ping was reprimanded by Zhao Yun and was immediately unhappy. What right did this little b** have to scold her? "I'm hungry. It's not like I'm not allowing you to eat. Mother can eat by herself." "Zhao Yun, I'm your elder sister. How can you talk to your elder sister like this? Who's the one who doesn't know the rules?" Zhao Ping muttered, but her hands did not stop moving. A large piece of braised fish was placed in her bowl. The plate of braised fish was not much. Zhao Ping ate more than half of it. It seemed that she did not care about the others and continued to eat by herself. Zhao Yun was suddenly furious and almost hit Zhao Ping. Liang Jinxiao stopped Zhao Yun and gave her a look. "Yun, don't bother with Ping." For Liang Jinxiao's sake, Zhao held back. This was the first and last time. If Zhao Ping made any more trouble later, she would definitely not let it go easily. "Ping Yun is right to scold you. You're a big girl, don't you know how to be more reserved? No matter what, you should wait for others to eat together, right? Mother, aren't you long-winded? Why are you so disappointing when you're eating?" Liang Jinxiao sighed. Ping, you're already so old. When will you be more sensible? What will you do when you marry into your husband's family in the future? Zhao Yun, sneered in her heart. With Zhao Ping's appearance, it would be strange if she could marry. As long as the man's eyes were not blind, Zhao Ping would not be accepted even if she was given to others. Mother, how am I not sensible? Why are you nagging? Are you going to eat or not? Zhao Yun was afraid that Zhao Ping would finish all the food alone, so she hurriedly asked the others to hurry up and eat. The table full of food was not enough for Zhao Ping alone. In addition to a bowl of rice, Liang Jinxiao ate some wild vegetables and only a few pieces of fish. Zhao Yun was about to give the last bit of fish soup to Daodu, but Zhao Ping beat her to it and put it into the bowl. Zhao Ping, don't you know how to respect the old and love the young? Don't you know how much you've eaten alone? Zhao Yun was so angry that she put down the bowl and chopsticks and slapped the table. If she endured it any longer, she would definitely suffocate. Zhao Yun, I only ate a little bit of food from your house. Do you have to be like this? Oh, a little bit of food? If you have the ability, don't eat it for me. You really treat it as your own house. Don't be so polite. What do you mean? Zhao Ping was also angry. She put down the bowl and chopsticks unhappily, stood up, put her hands on her waist, and faced Zhao Yun. Chapter 117. Zhao Ping was not as strong as Zhao Yun, so Zhao Yun could only push her away. After throwing her out, she yelled at Liang Jinxiao. Look at Zhao Yun. Isn't she too much? Liang Jinxiao looked at Zhao Yun, then looked at Zhao Ping and sighed. Both of them were her daughters, so she could not side with either of them. Zhao Ping had indeed gone a little overboard today. Originally, the family was eating happily together, but she had unknowingly eaten so much. Zhao Yun should have said a few words. All right, Ping, let's go back when you're done eating. Don't make a fuss and attract other people's ridicule. Liang Jinxiao glared at Zhao Ping, then walked out of the house and said to Zhao Yun, Mom is done eating. I'll go back first. Zhao Yun nodded and said, Okay, take care. It's a little dark. Be careful on the road. I know. As Liang Jinxiao spoke, she pulled Zhao Ping away. If they stayed any longer, Liang Jinxiao was afraid that the two sisters would fight. If that happened, the family would see each other frequently in the future. It would be very awkward. On the way, Zhao Ping complained to Liang Jinxiao, Mom, you're biased. Why didn't you scold Zhao Yun for her behavior? Why did you let me go? Ping, she's your sister. It's enough that we came here to eat. You ate so much tonight. How can Yun be happy? Isn't it just eating? Mom, we're a family. She has so many things that belong to you. It's fine if you don't want the money, but you don't want the food either? I think we can eat at her place in the future. Eating with Grandpa and Grandma is not as good as eating at Zhao Yun's place. Liang Jinxiao glanced at Zhao Ping. Yun only caught fish today. She can't catch fish usually. How can there be anything delicious? Let's not burden her. Mom, all right, stop talking. Let's go back quickly. The next morning, Zhao Yun got up and prepared to go to Yang City. When she woke up, she kept the porridge warm in the pot. When Daodu woke up, she could eat it by herself, so she didn't wake him up. Last night, Zhao Tianfu had stayed to sleep with them. Now, the two little guys were lying on the bed. When she left, Zhao Yun gently closed the door. When they arrived at Old Man Hu's house, they were surprised to find that Mulan had also gone into the city. She had brought a lot of baskets. The baskets should be sold in the city. When she saw Zhao Yun, Mulan was also a little happy. Yun, why are you going to the town too? Zhao Yun smiled. Didn't I tell you yesterday that I caught fish? I'm going to the town to sell fish today. Oh, that's the best. The two of us can accompany each other. Zhao Yun nodded and said, yes. She thought that with Mulan's company, the journey might not be so boring. Just as Papa, who was about to leave with the carriage, he heard Hua Chuanhua's anxious voice. Wait a moment, wait a moment. Hua Chunhua shouted at Old Man Who while urging Zhao Xinhui to hurry up. Hurry up. If you slow down, Father Whose carriage will leave. I told you to hurry up. You've been dawdling all morning. Chapter 118. Zhao Xinhui touched her hairstyle and felt satisfied. As a girl, she couldn't make do when she went out. After all, she could see other men at any time. What if she met a good man, but he didn't take a fancy to her because of her sloppy appearance? Hey, okay, hurry up and get on the carriage. Hua Chunhua didn't know what to say to Zhao Xinhui, so she urged her. Zhao Xinhui nodded. When Old Man Whose ox carriage stopped, she got on. Old Man Whose ox carriage carried a lot of people this time, so it was a little crowded. Zhao Xinhui glanced at the people on the carriage with some disdain. She raised her head proudly, as if she felt that she was too different from the people on the carriage when she was dressed so beautifully and cleanly. These people didn't deserve to sit with her. Mother, how can I sit on this carriage? Zhao Xinhui complained and looked at Hua Chunhua. Zhao Xinhui didn't go to the city many times. Most of the time, she stayed in the village. However, every time she saw Shenpan, back, she came back in a carriage. Compared to a carriage, the difference between an ox carriage and a carriage was too big. Why can't we sit on it? Everyone is sitting on it. If we don't sit on it, how can we go to the town? Hua Chunhua didn't expect that her daughter could cause so much trouble when she went to the town once. Now she really felt tired. She could only coax Zhao Xinhui. Mother, it's so dirty. Zhao Xinhui frowned in disgust. When the people on the carriage saw Zhao Xinhui, they all showed a disdainful expression. They had never seen a girl in the village so pretentious. But what should we do? We only have an ox carriage to go to the town. Don't tell me we don't go? Hua Chunhua asked. Zhao Xinhui disliked it, but there was nothing she could do. How could she not go to the city? She was still thinking about packing her clothes. Just as Zhao Xinhui was about to take a seat, a few women started chattering and scolding her. Just don't sit if you think it's dirty. Do you really think you're a young lady from a rich family? Do you have a carriage to pick you up? That's right. Why doesn't she take a look at her own status? Everyone is sitting properly, and she's the only one who says it's dirty. Maybe he thinks he's different from us? Sigh, there are some people who don't have the life of a young miss, but think of themselves as one. Old Man Who, let's hurry up and leave. It's not like he's interested in your ox cart. Each of these women was more venomous than the other. As Zhao Yunner listened, she felt that she could accept the words of these women. A pretentious person like Zhao Xinhui should be scolded like this so that she could see the situation clearly and recognize herself. Hearing these words, Zhao Xinhui clenched his fists tightly and glared at these women. At home, she was the treasure. No one had ever talked about her like this. Shut up, all of you. Who allowed you to talk about me like this? Zhao Xinhui shouted at these women. However, Zhao Xinhui's words did not make any waves. These women's mocking voices grew louder. Oh, who do you think you are? Why aren't you talking? We're telling the truth, not talking nonsense. If you don't want others to talk about you, then don't be so pretentious. Chapter 119. Even if she offered herself to my family, I wouldn't want her. Didn't we marry a girl like her just to serve her? Who would be so stupid? Marrying a daughter-in-law is to serve us, not to serve her. Sigh, I wonder which family will be so unlucky in the future. When Zhao Yun heard this, she couldn't help but laugh out loud. However, she still tried her best not to laugh. If she really laughed out loud, Zhao Xinhui would probably bear a grudge against her and old Zhao's family would make trouble for her. After all, Zhao Xinhui was a girl. Although she was a little willful, she really could not outtalk these women in the village. Zhao Xinhui was so angry that she started crying when she was outnumbered. She was not as terrible as they said. As soon as Hua Chunhua saw her daughter crying, she immediately became angry. These B*****s dared to bully her precious daughter. Hua Chunhua spat at these women who were scolding Zhao Xinhui. Try saying that again. Let's see if I will tear your mouths apart. Hu Chunhua put her hands on her waist and looked like a shrew. The women who were spat on felt disgusted. Hu Chunhua's saliva was on their faces. That was not all. More importantly, Hu Chunhua's saliva was smelly and made them feel nauseous. Old Lady Hua, don't you think you've gone too far? What's wrong? You can't argue with us, so why are you attacking us? The women on the ox cart were not soft-hearted. After being spat on, how could they tolerate it? I won't talk about my daughter. What's wrong with that? Hu Chunhua said angrily. She was very tough. We're telling the truth. Why can't we tell the truth? No wonder your daughter is still single. With a mother like you, she's not much better off. My daughter is going to be the wife of an official in the future. Do you think she's going to be married off casually like your daughters? Hu Chunhua said angrily. In fact, she also had such expectations in her heart. Her daughter was so beautiful. What if the heir took a fancy to her? At that time, their entire family would be rich and powerful. Let's see what these women would say. Oh, old Madam Hua, are you really dreaming? Your daughter can become the wife of an official? Haha, you don't even want an ordinary family, and you still want to be an official's wife? Some people just like to dream. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm dying of laughter. Another wave of mocking and ridiculing voices sounded. Hu Chunhua had a fiery temper. She slapped the women in front of her. Did he really hit someone? Come, let's fight then. You were the one who made the first move. Everyone has seen it. When we get to Li Zheng, don't say that we're unreasonable and that we're bullying you with numbers. As a result, the women and Hu Chunhua began to quarrel. Zhao Yun pulled Mulan to the side so that they wouldn't get hurt. Hu Chunhua was no match for these women. No matter how good she was, she couldn't fight against so many of them at once. As a result, a few scratches appeared on Hu Chunhua's face. Zhao Xinhui watched from the side and could only feel anxious. He couldn't go forward to help Hu Chunhua. She wasn't afraid of anything else. What she was afraid of was that these women would accidentally scratch her face. This face was very important to her. She couldn't let anything happen to it. Chapter 120. Before Zhao Yun could react, Zhao Xinhui angrily commanded Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun, you wretched girl. Can't you see that your grandmother is being beaten up? Why are you standing there instead of helping her? Are you waiting for your grandmother to be beaten up? Zhao Yun frowned. She sneered in her heart. Zhao Xinhui was really interesting. Zhao Yun still did not help. These women were not good people. If she got involved, wouldn't she be beaten up for nothing? She was not that stupid. She asked coldly with a hint of sarcasm, Auntie, you're wrong. Aren't you also standing there? Why are you scolding me now? You're her daughter. If you want to help, you should be the first to rush up. Besides, grandmother is so good to you. It's not right if you don't help now. You're so unfilial. Zhao Yun made Zhao Xinhui speechless. This little b** Tisich was so eloquent. In the past, no matter what she ordered Zhao Yun to do, Zhao Yun would never say a word. They're beating people to death. They're beating people to death. Hu Chunhua shouted. Zhao Xinhui stomped her feet and glared at Zhao Yun. This little b** Tisich. She did not have time to argue with her today. She would definitely ask her mother to teach her a lesson later. All right, stop fighting. Papa, who had been smoking his pipe, raised his voice and shouted, If you want to fight, take your time. My ox cart is leaving, so I won't wait for you. If you want to go into the city by car, then stop. After Old Man who said this, the woman who was fighting immediately stopped her movements. Although they were angry, they did not forget that the most important thing today was to go to the city. They could not be delayed by other things. Forget it, I'll just take it that I was bitten by a dog. Get in the car. I'm still hoping to sell something today. Let's not argue with this crazy woman. Let's go. Daddy who, let's go. The women got into the car one after another. Fighting with Hu Chunhua, these people didn't get any benefits. They were more or less scratched, but the one who suffered the most was Hu Chunhua. Zhao Xinhui hurried forward and asked, Mother, how are you? Are you all right? Ouch, it hurts. It really hurts. Hu Chunhua shouted. Mother, I'll help you into the car. Bear with it. It's all that damned girl Zhao Yun'er's fault. Let's see if you still won't help after being beaten up. Hu Chunhua glared at Zhao Yun'er when she heard that. Zhao Yun'er pursed her lips and ignored Hu Chunhua's glare of resentment. Sister-in-law Mulan, let's get in the car too. Mulan looked at Zhao Yun'er sympathetically and nodded. The two of them got into the carriage together. Hu Chunhua's injuries weren't light, so she didn't fight with Zhao Yun. However, she kept scolding Zhao Yun. Damned girl, you have no conscience. How did my old Zhao family give birth to a girl like you? I'll deal with you when we get back. Damned girl, I don't know how old third taught you. Hu Chunhua kept nagging, but Zhao Yun'er pretended not to hear her and chatted with Mulan. Chapter 121. This time, it was rare that these women did not target Zhao Yun. From time to time, they even criticized Hu Chunhua. Along the way, they arrived at Yang City amidst the chatter. Once Zhao Yun got off the car, she helped Mulan carry the basket and walked towards the market. She thought that Zhao Yun was here to sell fish today and Hu Chunhua was unwilling to give up. This little b***tis didn't even send some fish to them after catching them. The dozens of caddies of fish in the basket could be sold for 100 or 200 copper coins. Thinking that Zhao Yun could make money, Hu Chunhua felt uncomfortable. She was thinking about how to make Zhao Yun hand over the money to her. There were many people in the market. Zhao Yun and Mulan each paid 3 copper coins and started to sell their fish. Zhao Yun was not shy. She began to yell at the people coming and going. Let's take a walk and have a look. Fresh fish. After a while, someone stopped in front of Zhao Yun and started to ask about the price. Miss, how much is your carp? Auntie, it's 5 copper coins per caddy. I just caught it from the water yesterday and brought it here today. Do you want one? But 5 copper coins per caddy is a little expensive. I'll look at other shops. Auntie, the prices in these stalls are about the same. I buy fish because it's fresh and delicious. How about this? I'll give you a discount of half a copper coin. You can take it back. If you like it, you can come back next time to help my business. The old woman thought for a while and felt that it was a good idea. In addition, Zhao Yun's smiling face gave people a sense of intimacy, so she agreed. Okay, then get me one. Okay. Zhao Yun quickly held up a fish. The weight was borrowed from Aunt Lu's house. Otherwise, she would not be able to sell the fish. Auntie, 2 caddies and 1 tail. Just give me 9 copper coins. Seeing that she had earned 1 tail of fish for free, the old woman became happier and paid the money happily. After a while, Zhao Yun's money was sold out. Her fish were sold so quickly because her fish were indeed fresh and not expensive. Secondly, she was very good-looking and likable. After spending more than half an hour to complete the task, Zhao Yun was in a very good mood. He counted the copper coins in his hand and found that he had earned a total of 112 copper coins. Although it wasn't much, it wasn't a small amount in ancient times. Zhao Yun kept the money with a smile on her face. It took Mulan half an hour to sell another wicker basket. Others were still bargaining, but they only sold it for 8 copper coins in the end. Therefore, when she saw that Zhao Yun was sold out, she felt envious. Yuna, you're so nice. They're all sold out. Zhao Yun smiled and said, I'm selling food, so it's a little faster. Sister-in-law Mulan, don't be anxious. Take your time. But it won't be for long. Father whose horse carriage is also going back. I hope to sell a few more. After all, the journey back and forth cost 6 copper coins. Plus the rent, it was 3 copper coins. She had only sold 1 and had not earned back her capital. Zhao Yun didn't know how to comfort Mulan. Sister-in-law Mulan, you sell first. I'll buy some breakfast and come back later to help you sell them. Mulan nodded. What do you want to eat? I'll bring some for you. No need. Yun, I don't want to eat. Chapter 122. The streets were bustling with activity and people were everywhere. Zhao Yun directly went to the bun shop and bought 4 vegetable buns, spending 2 copper coins. She and Mulan each bought one. There was not much food left at home. Zhao Yun gritted her teeth and bought another 5 caddies of polished rice and 5 caddies of brown rice. The food of ancient times was indeed a little expensive in modern times. However, these were necessary and indispensable things in life. She had to constantly earn money so that she could continue to buy food. Otherwise, the few hundred copper coins she had left would quickly be used up. Just as Zhao Yun was about to go back to look for Mulan, Hua Chunhua's voice suddenly came from not far away. Fifi, Aya, oh my god, my money was stolen. Zhao Yun frowned. She originally wanted to ignore Hua Chunhua. After all, this old woman's money was stolen and it was none of her business. However, Zhao Yun caught a glimpse of a figure running forward. It was very familiar. The person who Hua Chunhua called a thief was Huang San. When was this fellow released again? Why is he causing trouble for others? Zhao Yun hurriedly ran over. When Hua Chunhua saw Zhao Yun she immediately ordered Zhao Yun girl, hurry up and chase after him. Get my money back. That's my life. This time, she came to the city to buy clothes and jewelry for Zhao Xinhui and took out more than half of the family's money. She had not bought anything yet. If it was stolen just like that, it would be a huge loss. Zhao Xinhui was afraid that she would not be able to buy clothes and jewelry because she did not have money. She put on a bitter face. Zhao Yun frowned. She was very unhappy with Hua Chunhua's commanding tone. Help me look after the things. I'll go after them. Zhao Yun put down the food. It wasn't because he wanted to help Hua Chunhua. It was purely because he couldn't stand Huang San. Yun, go quickly. Hua Chunhua's attitude suddenly became much more polite. She wasn't stupid. She was asking Zhao Yun for help. How could she not be polite? Zhao Yun ran out and quickly caught up with Huang San. Stop right there. Zhao Yun shouted. Huang San turned around and discovered that the person who caught up was actually Zhao Yun. This woman was here again? He even came over to catch him again. He was really courting death. Last time's matter, Huang San bore a grudge. This time, Zhao Yun came over. She was just courting death. Hee little girl, your courage is quite big. You actually came to find this prince to stir up trouble. Huang San sneered. Zhao Yun saw that Huang San suddenly stopped and did not have the intention to escape. Her lips hooked up into a cold smile. I caught you stealing again. It seems that you didn't learn from your mistakes. You didn't stay in prison long enough. Huang San snorted. This prince has someone behind me. Even if I go in, I can come out after 2 days. What about it? Looking at Huang San's smug look, Zhao Yun felt angry. The ancient times were even darker than the 21st century. In the 21st century, people could rely on connections to get out, let alone the ancient times. However, Zhao Yun hated this the most. The bad guys were not punished. Instead, they were free and happy. Was this really fair? Chapter 123. Zhao Yun had just rushed over when a few people suddenly rushed out from behind Huang San. Each and every one of them was a sturdy man with a mighty and majestic appearance. These people exposed their arms, showing off their thick and sturdy arms. These people's arms all have muscles. Zhao Yun frowned. Come, little lady, aren't you here to deal with my mother? Huang San grinned, revealing a row of big yellow teeth, looking really disgusting. Zhao Yun was naturally not that stupid. In her previous life, she had to consider her physique. Not to mention in this life, Zhao Yun was skinny and had no strength at all. Rushing forward? That was courting death. Zhao Yun retreated a few steps with vigilance. Little lady, what's wrong? Are you scared? Want to run? Huang San sneered. Looking at Huang San's cold eyes, Zhao Yun knew that Huang San definitely did not intend to let her off and wanted to take revenge. Sure enough, Huang San said to the leader of the men, Brother Long, it's this woman. Last time she hurt me. You have to help me take revenge. Rest assured I will definitely help you take revenge. The man called Brother Long nodded and those men surrounded Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun resisted a few times, but she was still no match for the other side and was finally captured. "Let me go, quickly let me go," Zhao Yun said. "A few big men holding a woman like me, is it interesting?" "Hee little lady, who said that big men can't capture women? If they offend me, Huang San, I don't care who they are." Huang San walked in front of Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun's hands were trapped, so Huang San grabbed Zhao Yun's chin. "Little lady, you really made me suffer. No matter what, I have to get it back today. This is your punishment for meddling in other people's business. You did something sneaky. What, you're still not convinced after being caught?" Zhao Yun retorted and rolled her eyes. "Oh, your mouth is quite powerful? Hee, why don't you see that you're now in my hands? Do you want to die? Don't come near me, you make me sick." Huang San sneered, "Today, I have to punish you properly. Seeing that you're not bad, why don't you serve me and Brother Long tonight? Let this grandfather have a good time." After Huang San finished speaking, he whispered into Brother Long's ears. Brother Long stared at Zhao Yun. The corner of his mouth revealed a strange smile. Zhao Yun's heart tightened. Huang San and Brother Long's wretched eyes made Zhao Yun somewhat fearful. These two people, they wouldn't really do that kind of thing to her, right? In broad daylight, you want to kidnap a civilian girl? Zhao Yun questioned. Hee little lady, you don't know. Our Brother Long is the tyrant of Yang City. If he really kidnaps you, who would dare to say anything? Huang San said. Zhao Yun felt a little hopeless. Damn, that meant that she couldn't escape today. She would rather die than be defiled by this group of people. Just as her heart sank, a person suddenly rushed over with a sword in his hand. However, the scabbard hadn't been unsheathed. After a few kicks, the man who was holding Zhao Yun was sent flying. Chapter 124. The burly men were now lying on the ground, while the man who saved her turned around and walked over to a horse carriage. "Master, it's done." The man in the horse carriage responded faintly. Zhao Yun's gaze followed the man and finally saw him stop in front of the horse carriage. The horse carriage was very familiar. It was none other than Mu Lianfeng's. Then, Zhao Yun saw the man in the horse carriage lift the curtain and alight from the horse carriage. Then he walked towards Zhao Yun. It was indeed Mu Lianfeng. He was dressed in blue today and looked even more handsome. His beauty was not the feminine kind, but the kind of beauty with a masculine aura. Zhao Yun was deeply attracted to him with just one look. She did not expect that he would be the one to save her when she was in trouble. She was also a woman and had feelings for men. Every woman wanted a Prince Charming. She felt that Mu Lianfeng was her ideal Prince Charming at this moment. But, in this era, the difference in status between two people was too great. It was needless to say that there would be obstacles in the middle if they wanted to be together. Besides, how could such a high and mighty man like her take a fancy to such an ordinary woman who was dragging a little bun behind her? Thinking of this, Zhao Yun suddenly felt a little bitter in her heart. Mu Lianfeng stopped in front of Zhao Yun and said to Zhao Yun, "Miss Yun, we met again. Why did they hit you?" Zhao Yun told him what had happened. Mu Lianfeng's eyes suddenly became sharp as he looked at the men who were starting to get up from the ground. Mu Lianfeng didn't know why, but when he heard that these people were bullying Zhao Yun, his emotions became so agitated that he wanted to kill all of these people who deserved to die. Huang San and Brother Long's men did not dare to attack again. Putting aside the question of whether or not he could defeat the man in front of him, he could tell at a glance that the man in front of him was not an ordinary person. They were not foolish enough to provoke him. You don't want to be the county magistrate anymore, do you? Mu Lianfeng snorted coldly. What he hated the most was officials using their power to cover up for others. Huang San was a thief who had been released. He would have to ask the county magistrate of Sun City if he still wanted to abide by the country's laws. Let's go, let's go. Brother Long ordered his men to leave. Mo Yen, stop him. The man who had just saved Zhao Yun stood in front of Brother Long. He crossed his arms and held a long sword in his hand. He swept his gaze over Brother Long and the others coolly. Brother Long immediately chuckled at Mo Yen and Mu Lianfeng. It's a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding. This has nothing to do with us. If you want to find someone, you should find Huang San. It's all his fault. We didn't do anything bad. We were just joking with this lady. The corners of Mu Lianfeng's lips curled up indifferently. Joking? If he had not happened to see it, who knew what other accidents would have happened to Zhao Yuner? Would she have been bullied by these people? Huang San saw that Brother Long was no longer on his side and had begun to admit defeat. He knew that he would probably be in trouble, so he quickly ran away. However, Huang San had only taken a few steps when Mo Yen appeared before him with a flash. Chapter 125. The sword had already landed on Huang San's neck. Huang San felt danger, especially when he saw the cold sword on his neck. He was so scared that his legs went weak. "Hero, big brother, please spare me. I beg you, let me go. I was wrong, I was wrong." Huang San knelt on the ground and put his hands together as he begged Mo Yen. "Didn't you run? Now you're begging for mercy?" Mo Yan's lips curled up as she looked at Huang San in a mocking manner. "Big brother, I won't do it again. I won't do it again. Right now, I'm at your mercy," Huang San said in a hurry. Zhao Yu looked at Mo Yan's arrogant manner and felt that she was too cool. She thought that Kung Fu was just something written in wuxia novels. Who would have thought that Kung Fu really existed? Seeing how Mo Yen could fly around in the sky, Zhao Yu felt both envy and admiration. If she could learn Kung Fu, wouldn't it be much easier to catch thieves in the 21st century? "Master, how should we deal with them?" Mo Yen looked at Mu Lianfeng and asked. Mu Lianfeng looked at Zhao Yun. "Miss Yun, how do you think we should deal with them?" Zhao Yun obviously wanted to send these people to the authorities. However, it seemed to be useless after sending them to the authorities. Since Huang San could be released from prison once, he could be released a second time. Zhao Yun thought about it and said, "Young master, I think you have a better idea of how to deal with this person than me. If we send him to the authorities, I just don't know if he'll come out and do bad things again." Mu Lianfeng nodded. "All right, leave it to me. I definitely won't let him out again." "All right," Zhao Yun said. Then she looked at Mu Lianfeng gratefully. "Young master, thank you so much for today's matter." "You're welcome." At this moment, Hua Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui, who had been at the back, also rushed over. When Hua Chunhua saw that Huang San had been subdued, she immediately rushed in front of Huang San and slapped him on the head. Then, a pair of thick black claws scratched Huang San's face. "You little bastard, you actually dared to throw money at this old woman. Hurry up and hand it over." If it were not for Mo Yen, how could Huang San allow Hua Chunhua to hit him? He knew that if he moved, Mo Yan's sword could probably kill him at any time. Auntie, don't hit me, I'll give it back to you, okay?" Huang San's face was bitter as he took out the money pouch and gave it back to Hua Chunhua. Hua Chunhua quickly opened the money bag and looked at it. After counting it, she saw that the money inside was not less. She held it in her hand with relief. Now, she did not dare to put it in her pocket anymore. Who knew if she would run into a thief later? If it was stolen again, she would really cry to death. Looking at the money that she had lost and then regained, Hua Chunhua's bitter face finally recovered a little. She could buy clothes for her daughter later. Let's go. Let's go buy some clothes." Hua Chunhua held the money and walked over to Zhao Xinhui. She called out to Zhao Xinhui. However, Zhao Xinhui acted like she did not hear anything. She stared straight at Mu Lianfeng. As soon as she came over and saw Mu Lianfeng, Zhao Xinhui was attracted. Chapter 126. Zhao Yun's gaze also landed on Zhao Xinhui. This woman was actually looking at a man in such a manner in front of so many people. She was really, even if she was love-struck, she didn't have to be like this, did she? Mu Lianfeng seemed to feel Zhao Xinhui's scorching gaze and looked over at Zhao Xinhui. With this look, Zhao Xinhui's heart rippled. Thinking that Mu Lianfeng was interested in her, she couldn't help but blink at Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng frowned and asked Zhao Xinhui, "Miss, do you have an eye disease? Do you want to go to the medical hall to have a look?" Zhao Yunnu, who was listening at the side, almost couldn't help laughing out loud. Mu Lianfeng was really too funny. Why didn't she see that he had the potential to be so humorous? "Sir, I don't have an eye disease," Zhao Xinhui hurriedly explained, afraid that she would ruin Mu Lianfeng's beautiful image. "Then why do you keep winking at me?" Mu Lianfeng's voice was indifferent. Zhao Xinhui was a little anxious. She couldn't possibly say that she was winking at Mu Lianfeng, right? Mu Lianfeng ignored Zhao Xinhui and turned to Zhao Yun. He said to Zhao Yun, "Miss Yun, I still have something to do, so I'll go back first. If you run into any trouble in Yang City, you can look for me directly at the heir presumptive's residence." As Mu Lianfeng spoke, he took out a bronze token from his sleeve and handed it to Zhao Yun. With this bronze token, the servants of the heir presumptive's residence would inform him. Zhao Yun didn't want to accept it at first. She had troubled Mu Lianfeng too many times. However, she knew that if she didn't accept it, and something like today happened again, a commoner like her wouldn't be able to solve it. "Sorry, it can't solve any problems." Zhao Yun thought about it and accepted it. He would try his best not to trouble Mu Lianfeng. "Lord Shizi, thank you," Zhao Yun said. "You're welcome. I'll take my leave then." Mu Lianfeng glanced at Zhao Yun reluctantly before handing Huang San and the others to Mo Yen. Mo Yen, send them to the government office and inform the district magistrate. If they try anything again this time, they can forget about keeping their official position, Mo Yen ordered. Mo Yen replied, "Yes." Seeing that Mu Lianfeng was about to leave, Zhao Xinhui was a little anxious. It wasn't easy for her to see a handsome man. How could she bear to see him leave just like that? He didn't even look at her. That didn't make sense. She was dressed up pretty today, so why couldn't she attract the attention of other men? "Young master, wait." Zhao Xinhui stepped forward and blocked Mu Lianfeng's path. "Miss, is there anything else?" Mu Lianfeng asked indifferently. "Young master, I'm Zhao Xinhui." Zhao Xinhui introduced herself in front of Mu Lianfeng before flirting with him. Zhao Yun only felt embarrassed. These weirdos in her family had really embarrassed her in front of Mu Lianfeng. Although she didn't have much contact with old Zhao's family, they were still her family after all. Mu Lianfeng frowned and glanced at Zhao Xinhui. A sliver of disgust appeared in his eyes. "Sorry, miss. I'm not interested in knowing you. I have to go." Chapter 127. Zhao Xinhui stomped her feet angrily and bit her lower lip. She just couldn't figure out what she had done wrong. Why did Mu Lianfeng treat her like this? In the past, when they were in the village, the men in the village would stare at her lustfully when they saw her. However, Mu Lianfeng didn't even want to look at her. Zhao Xinhui thought about it and finally felt that she might not be dressed well enough. After all, the clothes she was wearing were too old-fashioned. When she caught a glimpse of Zhao Yun at the side, Zhao Xinhui suddenly felt jealous. Zhao Yun's clothes were not as good as hers. Mu Lianfeng's attitude towards her just now was not normal. Zhao Xinhui looked for Zhao Yun angrily. When she saw that she was still smiling as if she was mocking her, Zhao Xinhui became even more unhappy and asked, "Wretched girl, what are you laughing at? What does it have to do with you?" Zhao Yun replied indifferently. She felt that Zhao Xinhui was looking for trouble. She had embarrassed herself in front of Mu Lianfeng and now she was picking on her. "What's with your attitude? I'm your aunt. How can you talk to me like that?" Zhao Xinhui said angrily. "Auntie, your ability to slander others is really not ordinary." "What did I say? What's with your attitude?" "Mother, look at this wretched girl. She's talking back." Zhao Xinhui turned to Hu Chunhua and complained to Hu Chunhua. Hu Chunhua usually protected Zhao Xinhui. When she saw Zhao Xinhui acting like this, she immediately reprimanded Zhao Yun. "Yuner girl, aunt is scolding you. Just listen. Why you talking back?" Zhao Yuner's lips curled into a cold smile. That was weird. Did that mean that she was in the wrong? Grandmother, I don't know what you're talking about. But you have to remember that I did you a big favor today. Otherwise, your money bags would have been taken away. Now you can only cry. Now you don't even say thank you. Instead, you're yelling at me. Chunhua pointed at Zhao Yun. She was trembling with anger. However, she couldn't refute Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun ignored Zhao Xinhui and Hu Chunhua. She took the rice from Hu Chunhua's and snorted, turned and left. Paying attention to these two heartless people only made her angry. If she had known, she wouldn't have helped to get back the money bags. She would have let Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui cry. Zhao Yun returned to the market. Mulan had been waiting for a long time. Seeing that Zhao Yun hadn't returned for a long time, she thought that something had happened to Zhao Yun. She was very anxious. Yun, why did it take you so long to come back? Zhao Yun told Zhao Yun what had happened just now. It's good that nothing happened. Zhao Yun handed the vegetable buns she bought to Mulan. Sister-in-law Mulan, are you hungry? Come, fortunately, the buns are still warm. Eat. Yun, how can I? Mulan glanced at it and didn't take it. Take it. There's still the whole morning. If you don't eat, you'll be hungry. 2 buns, only 1 copper coin. It's not expensive. Then Yun, thank you. Mulan took one and ate it. She gave the other to Zhao Yun. Yun, eat it yourself. Chapter 128. Really? Really? How could I not eat it myself? Okay. Yun, I'll eat it myself? Mulan was really hungry. She swallowed the 2 buns in a short while. Zhao Yun had been gone for so long, but Mulan hadn't sold a single basket. Seeing that it was almost time to go back, she began to feel anxious. If she didn't make any money this time and lost some capital, her mother-in-law would probably scold her again when she went back. Looking at Mulan's gloomy face, Zhao Yun comforted her. Don't worry, sister-in-law Mulan. I'll help you. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she shouted like a salesperson on TV. Come, take a look, take a look. Don't miss it when you pass by. It's a practical and beautiful basket, a wicker basket. Zhao Yun's voice was clear and pleasant, and she shouted with great effort. Many passers-by came forward to take a look. Miss, how much is this basket? Auntie, this basket was originally 10 coins. Just now, an uncle bought one and left. If you really want to buy it, I'll give you 8 coins. Look at how many things you're carrying. It's just right to put them in a basket. It's more convenient. The woman looking at the basket thought about it and agreed, so she said to Zhao Yun, little girl, then give me one. Zhao Yun picked the biggest one and gave it to the woman. Auntie, the biggest one. It's packed a lot. The woman laughed and said, little girl, you really know how to do business. It's just a small business. If you want to buy a basket next time, come here. Haha, okay. The woman took out 8 coins, took the basket with one hand, and paid the money with the other. Seeing that Zhao Yun had sold a basket in such a short time, Mulan's eyes had a trace of admiration for Zhao Yun. Yun, aren't you too amazing? There must be a way to do business. Tell me. However, this wasn't something that could be learned in a short time. Zhao Yun still had to teach it step by step. Zhao Yun said and stuffed the 8 copper coins into Mulan's hand. We have to hurry up and sell more. All right. Zhao Yun continued to yell with all her might. In a short period of time, she sold another 4. He sold 2 baskets for 10 copper coins each. This time, Mulan earned 52 copper coins. Compared with Zhao Yun, it was a little less, but Mulan was satisfied. After all, it was not easy to earn a few dozen copper coins in the village. All in all, excluding the cost, he had earned 3 caddies of meat. Yuna, my mother said that if we earn enough money, we can go and weigh a caddy of meat. Okay, then let's hurry up and go. The 2 of them came to the meat shop. Mulan bought a caddy of lean meat. In ancient times, lean meat was much cheaper than fatty meat. A caddy of lean meat was only 11 copper coins. Zhao Yun looked and bought a caddy of lean meat. However, she bought streaky pork, which cost 14 copper coins per caddy. When the two of them returned to the ox cart, the others had already arrived. Only Zhao Xinhui and Hu Chunhua had not returned. The people on the ox cart waited for a while, but Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui still did not return. Chapter 129. Why are they dawdling? They're still not here. Have they never been to the city before? I wonder what they're doing. Sigh, they're still not here. Normally, they would have taken action long ago. Oh man, let's go. What are we waiting for? We don't know when they'll be back. Let's go, let's go. They've implicated us. These women were impatient and began to complain. Old Man Hu also put away his tobacco pipe gloomily. Usually, when they took the ox cart, there was a rule that they had to come back at a certain time and then set off for home. Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui didn't know the rules and still hadn't come back. Sigh, if we leave, we don't know how they'll return to the village. What they meant was to wait a little longer. Old Man Hu felt that it wasn't good to leave an old woman and a young girl behind and walk 10 to 20 miles back. I say, Old Man Hu, you can't be like this. How they go back is their business. Who asked them to not come back until now? If they don't come back, are we going to wait until the sky turns dark? Do we still want to go back? My dog is waiting for me to go back and cook. Old Man Hu, it's fine if you continue to wait, but I'll say the ugly words first. The next time I come to sell vegetables, if the business isn't good and I take a long time to come back, then you have to wait for me too. This? Old Man Hu knew that once this rule was broken, these people would follow suit in the future. Then, let's go back. Old Man Hu sighed and decided to go back. After all, he didn't want to cause trouble for himself. The carriage swayed as it drove towards Shui Lan village. After leaving Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui behind, many people in the carriage were gloating. This pair of mother and daughter were hated by these women. Now that they were left in the city, they wanted to see how they would go back. Zhao Yu laughed in her heart. Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui were going to suffer from walking back to the village from Yang City. However, this pretentious mother and daughter deserved it. On the other hand, Hu Chunhua was still leading Zhao Xinhui to visit one cloth shop after another. Sun City wasn't a town, so the cloth was pretty good. After visiting a few shops, all the fabrics that Zhao Xinhui was interested in cost at least 1 tael of silver. She picked out a silver hairpin and spent 1 tael on it. Hu Chunhua felt her heart ache when she spent more than 2 taels of silver in one go. However, she also treasured her daughter. She couldn't refuse to give her what she wanted. She gritted her teeth and bought it for Zhao Xinhui. Mother, you're so good to me. When I marry the heir, I will be filial to you, Zhao Xinhui said sweetly. Hu Chunhua was amused by Zhao Xinhui. It's okay. Mom is willing to buy things for you. It's fine as long as my hui is fine. Let's go. We've bought these things. It's time for us to go back. Hu Chunhua was a little worried about whether Old Man Hu's carriage was still there. However, she felt that Old Man Hu wouldn't leave them behind. Otherwise, he would definitely cause trouble when he returned to the village. Mother, I've bought these clothes and jewelry. Since we're already in the city, let's bring some meat back. I want to eat meat, Zhao Xinhui said as she shook Hu Chunhua's arm. Hu Chunhua couldn't persuade Zhao Xinhui. She had no choice but to go to the market and buy 1 jean of meat. Mother, is 1 jean of meat enough? Chapter 130. This meat is precious. We've already spent a lot of money today, so we can't spend any more. We have to be thrifty. It's all right, Mother will secretly cook this meat for you. Hearing Hu Chunhua's words, Zhao Xinhui reluctantly agreed. All right then, Mother. You promise to only let me eat it. After Hu Chunhua and Zhao Xinhui were ready to go back, they realized that Old Father Hu's carriage was no longer there. Where did Old Man Hu die? Why can't we find him? Hu Chunhua was a little anxious. Zhao Xinhui frowned and asked, Mother, Old Man Hu couldn't have already gone back, right? That damned old man went back? Hu Chunhua thought that it was possible. But she and Zhao Xinhui hadn't come back yet, So why did he go back? Yang City was quite a distance away from the village, so they couldn't possibly walk back. Mother, we can't even find him here. He must have gone back. What should we do? Mother, I don't want to walk. It's such a long journey, it's so tiring. Zhao Xinhui complained unhappily. She had been spoiled since she was young and couldn't bear even the slightest bit of hardship. Don't worry. Mother will think of something. Hua Chunhua comforted her. They couldn't walk back. Old father who had already left. They couldn't stay in Yang City for a day and take old father whose carriage tomorrow. Right now, they could only ask other ox cart drivers if they could go to Shui Lan village. There were many ox carts and horse carriages parked in Yang City. They were specially used to transport goods. Hua Chunhua asked a few. The lowest price to Shui Lan village was 30 copper coins. 30 copper coins. Hua Chunhua really couldn't bear to part with it. These 2 caddies of pork didn't even cost 30 copper coins. If we can't do it, why don't we walk back slowly? Look, if we rent a carriage, why don't Mother buy you an extra caddy of pork to eat? Don't you think so? Zhao Xinhui arrived early in the morning and had wandered around Yang City for a long time. She was already tired. Now that Hua Chunhua said this, she immediately squatted and said angrily to Hua Chunhua, Mother, I'm so tired. I don't want to do it. If I walk back, I'll probably have to lie in bed for a few days. I won't go. Then Mother will charter an ox cart to go back, okay? Only then did Zhao Xinhui stop making a fuss. Hua Chunhua reluctantly took out her purse. After paying 30 copper coins, the coachman drove the 2 of them towards Shui Lan village. They had spent a lot of money on this trip, and there wasn't much money left at home. Along the way, Hua Chunhua was distressed and worried about how to earn some money back. When Papa whose carriage arrived at the village, Zhao Yun bid farewell to Mulan and returned home. This time, Zhao Yun didn't bring any meat buns back from town. She wanted to make them herself. The buns she made tasted better. Thinking about it, the buns made from half a caddy of meat were much more cost-effective than buying meat buns. When Zhao Yun arrived home, the 2 children were already obediently waiting in the room. Sister, Daodu and I also caught bullfrogs today. Zhao Tianfu stood and pointed at the bullfrogs in the wooden bucket. Last time, Zhao Yun asked him to identify them, and Zhao Tianfu remembered them. Now that he saw the bullfrogs in the wooden bucket, he really didn't catch the wrong ones. They weren't toads. Sister, we have a lot of them in the fields. Daodu and I caught a few in a short while. Cook them for us for lunch. Chapter 131. You guys are great. No problem, I'll make it for you later. Zhao Yun said with a smile. Okay. The 2 children showed an expectant smile. Seeing that it was almost noon, they were already a little hungry. Zhao Yun also began to prepare lunch. There were still some small vegetables at home that could be stir-fried. With the bullfrog, it was enough for 3 people. Zhao Yun cut a little bit of meat and stir-fried it with green peppers. A plate of shredded pork with green peppers was the best for rice. It was just that when she stir-fried it, the burning smell was very pungent. It took more than an hour for lunch to be ready. Zhao Yun hurriedly called the 2 children to eat. Second sister, elder sister originally wanted to come over for lunch again today, but she was scolded by father. Zhao Tianfu said to Zhao Yun while eating. After all, he was 8 years old and was clear about many things. He told Zhao Yun now because he felt that this matter was somewhat important. Zhao Yun touched Zhao Tianfu's head and said, It's okay, even if father doesn't say it, second sister has a way. She was not easy to bully. She tolerated Zhao Ping coming over for a meal once, but if it was every day, she would certainly not agree. After all, she was not willing to suffer losses. Second sister, I don't want elder sister to come over to eat. If elder sister comes over to eat, we won't be able to eat. Zhao Tianfu said. In the past, Zhao Yun's 2 younger siblings were close to her. Now, after spending some time with Zhao Yun, they were even closer to Zhao Yun. Naturally, they stood on Zhao Yun's side and spoke up for Zhao Yun. The bullfrog at noon was eaten clean, even the soup was not left. However, there were still a lot of small vegetables and shredded pork with green peppers left. Seeing the two children's bulging stomachs, Zhao Yuner said with a smile, "Look, the two of you are so full, how are you going to eat buns in the afternoon? Mother, are there buns for lunch?" Daodu's eyes lit up. "Second sister, are you making buns for us?" Zhao Tianfu asked excitedly. "Yeah, I bought some meat. I'll steam buns for you guys in the afternoon." "Yay! Mother, Daodu likes meat buns." "Second sister, I like it too." "Your stomachs are already so big, how much can you eat?" "Second sister, I can eat a lot." "All right, you little greedy cats. I'll make it for you in the afternoon." Okay. Zhao Yuner went into the kitchen and saw that there was still some rice left in the pot. Because of what happened yesterday, Zhao Tianan was too embarrassed to come over again. He was afraid that if he came over, Zhao Ping would follow him. The rice cooked on the stove in the countryside would leave behind a circle of crispy rice crust. It was very delicious. Zhao Yuner then mixed some rice crust with rice into a ball and put some vegetables and shredded meat in it. After making 4 balls, Zhao Yuner put them on a plate and covered it with another plate. According to Zhao Tianfu, old Zhao's family had started to cultivate the fields again these days. Several men were working hard, and Zhao Tianan was also working in the fields. Zhao Yuner was afraid that with the food in old Zhao's family, Zhao Tianan would be hungry after working for a while. Later, she would send some tea and rice balls over, which could be considered as an extra meal for Zhao Tianan. "Tianfu, do you know where your brother Tianan works in the afternoon?" "I know." "Well, let's go give your brother Tianan some rice balls in the afternoon, and then catch bullfrogs, okay?" Chapter 132. The children in the countryside didn't have much entertainment, and there weren't many things that interested them. Other than catching bullfrogs, the children also played some other games together. However, the children in the village rejected Daodu and didn't take Daodu to play. If it weren't for Zhao Tianfu, Daodu wouldn't know what to do and would probably be even more lonely. "Second sister, can we take Saner with us when we catch bullfrogs in the afternoon? He also helped us catch bullfrogs today." Zhao Yuner smiled and said, "Of course. It would be more interesting to have a few more children together." Zhao Yuner first went to Auntie Lu's place and borrowed her family's steamer. She didn't have such a thing at home. After washing the dishes, she casually busied herself. It was already 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Zhao Yuner was carrying a basket with rice balls in it. There was also a small jar with honey water that she had made. Zhao Yuner took the children to old Zhao's family's fields. Old Zhao's family hadn't separated yet. Over the years, they had saved up money to buy fields. Slowly, the number of fields had increased. Overall, the conditions in Shuilan village were above average. When Zhao Yuner arrived, Zhao Baoshan, her eldest uncle, second uncle, her father, and fourth uncle were busy in the fields. Among the children in the branch, her eldest uncle's eldest cousin was studying, so he wasn't allowed to intervene in this kind of rough work. Second cousin brother also came to help, as well as Zhao Tianan. The others were all girls and children, and they weren't allowed to come to the fields. Although there were cows in the fields in ancient times, not every family had cows. There were only a few families in the village who raised cows. At this time, they were also using their cows to open up the fields at home. If they helped others open up the fields, they would be charged 30 to 40 copper coins per mu. Many villagers were reluctant to do so. Anyway, there were many people in the family. They could slowly use the shovel to reclaim 1 or 2 mu of land in a day. This could save them a small amount of money. After a few days of hard work, old Zhao's family's fields were almost completely reclaimed. Now, the main thing was to fill the fields with water, then sprinkle rice, and wait for the seedlings to grow. The men rolled up their trousers and walked barefoot in the field. When Zhao Yuner came over, the first person who saw Zhao Yuner was Zhao Yuner's second cousin, Zhao Tianhu. "Second cousin, why are you here?" Zhao Tianhu greeted Zhao Yuner politely. Zhao Yuner greeted Zhao Tianhu. "I'm here to look for Tianan." Zhao Yuner smiled. "Oh, Zhao Tianhu responded and shouted to Zhao Tianan, Tianan, your second sister is looking for you. Zhao Tianan looked back. When he saw Zhao Yuna, he was a little happy and walked in the direction of Zhao Yuna. Second sister, why are you here? I brought you delicious food. Are you full for lunch? Second sister, why are you bringing me food? You eat it yourself. It's okay. There's still food at home. I'm afraid you'll be tired from work and get hungry easily. If you don't come over for lunch, I'll bring you food. Zhao Yun'er said and asked Zhao Tianan to sit down. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er went through so much trouble to come, Zhao Tianan couldn't say anything to refuse. Second sister, I'll go wash my hands first. Okay. Zhao Tianan washed his hands in the small ditch next to him. The ancient river wasn't polluted, so it was very clear and clean. After Zhao Tianan washed his hands, he sat next to Zhao Yun'er. Chapter 133. Zhao Tianhu said to Zhao Tianan with some envy, Tianan, your second sister is so good to you. Zhao Tianan smiled shyly. In his heart, Zhao Yun'er was good to him. Zhao Yun'er was embarrassed to let Zhao Tianan eat alone. Seeing that Zhao Tianhu usually treated her well, unlike the other people in old Zhao's family, she said to Zhao Tianhu, second cousin, wash your hands and eat one too. It's easy to get tired from working. Zhao Tianan wanted to refuse, but he didn't have enough for lunch. Looking at Zhao Yun'er pinching the fragrant rice balls, his mouth was overflowing with saliva, so he said, okay, thank you. You're welcome. As for the other people in old Zhao's family, Zhao Yun'er didn't greet them. There were only 4 rice balls, and it wasn't enough to eat all of them. Zhao Tianhu ate one and asked him to eat another, but he was unwilling to eat more. Second sister, your rice balls are really delicious, Zhao Tianan said. The rice balls that other people pinched didn't have any vegetables in them, but Zhao Yun'er picked up shredded pork with green peppers. It was the most appetizing thing, so naturally she felt it was delicious. Yes, cousin Yun'er's rice balls are really delicious. Zhao Tianhu didn't expect that the food that Zhao Yun'er sent over would be so delicious. After eating it, the aftertaste was endless. It wasn't that Zhao Yun'er's food was really good, but old Zhao's family's food was too poor during this period of time. They ate coarse grains and vegetables every day. Drink some water after eating. Zhao Yun'er handed over the honey water again. Thank you, second sister. After Zhao Tianan muttered a few mouthfuls, he found that it was sweet. Second sister, this is honey water, right? Second sister, you can just give it to Daoist. Why did you give it to me? It's okay. You're tired from working. You should eat something good. Yes. Second sister, thank you. Zhao Tianan didn't know what to say other than being moved. There's no need to be so polite with me. Zhao Yun'er and Zhao Tianan chatted for a while on the ridge. Zhao Tianan said, second sister, I have to go to work. I can't just stand there. Go, rest if you're tired. Got it, second sister. Come over to second sister's place to eat when you have time. Second sister will deliver it to you when I have time. All right. Zhao Yun'er picked up the basket and started to pack up. Just now, except for her father, all the men in old Zhao's family acted as if they hadn't seen her. One could imagine how disgusted she was in these people's eyes. Zhao Tianfu took Daoist and San Air with him. In a short while, they caught several. Mother looked. Daoist held the bullfrog in his hand in front of Zhao Yun'er and swung it a few times. Zhao Yun'er praised a few words of praise to the children. She didn't expect them to catch even more. Within an hour he had actually caught 20 of them. The countryside wasn't polluted, so no one caught bullfrogs. In addition, there were many insects in spring, so the bullfrogs grew more and more quickly. Looking at so many bullfrogs, it was estimated that they could eat several meals. An idea suddenly popped up in her mind. Should she take these bullfrogs to town and sell them for money? People in ancient times didn't know how to eat bullfrogs, but she did. Of course, if she took it directly to town, no one would buy it. She could first take it to a restaurant, cook it, let people try it, and then sell it to the restaurant. Such a delicious bullfrog should be able to sell well. Chapter 134. Only by earning more money could she bring Daodu to live a good life. Let's go back. Mother will make steamed buns for you to eat as a reward. Zhao Yun said with a smile. The children skipped back to the house with her. On the way back, Zhao Yun discussed with the children. When they were free, they would catch more bullfrogs for her. Tomorrow she would go to the town. When she reached an agreement with the restaurant, she would ask Zhao Tianfu to bring a few more children to catch bullfrogs. The children in the countryside had nothing to do. The more bullfrogs they caught, the more candy they would be given. She believed that with the temptation of candy, the children would be able to catch the bullfrogs enthusiastically. When the time came, she could sell them for money and buy some candy. Of course, if she did this, the children in the village would not isolate Daodu too much. Back at home, Zhao Yun went into the kitchen and began to make steamed buns. Daodu, Zhao Tianfu, and San Er stayed in the corner to play with mud. Zhao Yun chopped the meat she bought into minced meat and added some seasonings. Then, she mixed it into the stuffing, which immediately emitted a fragrant smell. She also bought some baking powder from the market and began to knead it with flour. The steamed bun was not big, so she did not add much stuffing. In the end, she made 40 steamed buns with half a kilogram of meat, which was enough for them to eat for a long time. Zhao Yun placed the steamed buns in the steamer basket, then placed them in the pot and steamed them over a large fire. After 10 to 20 minutes, the fragrance filled the air. In addition to the meat-steamed buns, there was a little flour left over. Zhao Yun made 3 steamed buns. The children were originally playing happily. When they smelled the fragrance, they ran over like greedy kittens. Mother, are you done? Daodu asked in a childish voice. Wash your hands first. Otherwise, if your hands are dirty, you will have a stomachache if you eat the steamed buns. Zhao Yun brought out a basin of water and washed the children's hands one by one. Then, she took out the steamed buns and let them cool before handing them to the children. Here, have a taste. Zhao Yun gave one to each child. When he handed it to Yusen was too embarrassed to take it. Auntie, I don't need it. My mother said that I can't just eat other people's food. Auntie has a lot here. You caught a bullfrog for Auntie today. This is your reward. But Yusen wanted to say something, but seeing Daodu and Zhao Tianfu's satisfied expressions, she swallowed her saliva. Unable to resist the temptation of the steamed bun, Yusen also took it and ate it. Zhao Yun patted Yusen's head and said, Sen, don't be embarrassed. Since Auntie gave it to you, it means it's for you. Zhu Saner also politely thanked Zhao Yun. Thank you, Auntie. You're welcome. Mother, the meat buns you made are so fragrant and delicious, much better than the buns bought in town. That's right, second sister. I also think second sister's cooking is better. You all have sweet mouths. If you like to eat, then eat a few more. There's still a lot. When Zhao Yun called the children to eat, she also ate one herself. With a bite, her mouth was filled with the fragrance of meat. Her cooking skills were really good. Chapter 135. Mother, can I get a meat bun for Little Black? Daodu didn't forget about Little Black after he finished eating. However, Daodu knew that meat buns were good stuff, and Zhao Yun might not be willing to part with them. Mother, I'll eat one less and give it to Little Black, okay? Zhao Yun smiled and said, Of course, I'll go get one now. Little Black was sleeping in the kennel. Daodu woke him up and said to him, Little Black, it's time to eat a meat bun. Little Black opened his eyes. When he saw Daodu, he immediately wagged his tail enthusiastically. Come eat it. Daodu broke off a small piece and brought it to Little Black's mouth. Little Black stuck out his tongue and swallowed it. Daodu continued to feed him. Although Little Black didn't look big, he still ate the entire bun. After feeding Little Black, the children couldn't stay at home anymore. They ran out, saying that they were catching bullfrogs. Zhao Yun didn't stop them and let them go. If they could catch more, she would go to the town tomorrow to try it out. After the children left, Zhao was about to send a steamer to Aunt Lu when Lu Lei came over. This time, he came to deliver wood to Zhao Yun. He prepared bundles of wood and placed them in Zhao Yun's yard. He knew that Zhao Yun had a child and was a woman, so it was inconvenient for her to get wood. Yin, I saw that there wasn't much wood left outside your house, so I brought some for you, Lu Lei said. Thank you, Brother Lei. Zhao Yun revealed a sweet smile. You're welcome. Lu Lei smiled foolishly. Leave the things here. If there's nothing else, I'll go back first. Lu Lei looked at Zhao Yun reluctantly and prepared to leave. Wait, Brother Lei. Zhao Yun stopped Lu Lei. What's wrong? Lu Lei looked at Zhao Yun with anticipation in his eyes. He thought that Zhao Yun had something to say. Brother Lei I steamed some buns. I'll bring you 2 to try. Lu Lei wanted to say no, but Zhao Yun had already entered the kitchen and came out with 3 buns in her hands. Come, Brother Lei, let's eat. The steamed bun in her hand was still hot and fragrant. Lu Lei held it in his hand but didn't eat it. Zhao Yun hurriedly urged, Brother Lei, why aren't you eating? Hurry up and eat. Don't be shy. You've already sent me so much wood. What's wrong with eating 2 buns? Lu Lei smiled. All right then. I'll eat. Thank you. You're welcome. By the way, I'm going to town tomorrow. Is there anything you want me to bring? Brother Lei, you're going to town tomorrow too? I'm going too. Are you going to sell your game? When I went to the mountain today, I caught 2 wild hares and a deer. I should be able to sell them for a lot of money. Brother Lei, congratulations. I'm just supporting myself. I just want to save more money. I want to buy some land back. That's not bad. Lu Lei wanted to say that he was saving money to buy land for Zhao Yun. If he had a few acres of land, he could give Zhao Yun and Daodu a stable life. By the way, Brother Lei, do you usually sell your game to the restaurant? Yes. If I send it directly to the restaurant, the price will be higher. The restaurant will fight for fresh game. If I sell it to others, it will still be passed through the restaurant in the end. It's not worth it for me. Chapter 136. Lu Lei often dealt with the restaurant, so he was familiar with the people there. If she went to sell bullfrogs alone, she didn't know if she would be kicked out by the restaurant. Then, Brother Lei, can you take me with you when you go to the restaurant tomorrow? I also have something to sell. Of course, but Yun, what do you have to sell? It's not anything good. I might not be able to sell it now, but I'm just going to try. Lu Lei didn't ask further and went back. Zhao Yun returned Auntie Lu's steamer and gave Auntie Lu a few buns. When she returned home, the children came back with a small basket filled with 10 to 20 bullfrogs. Mother, can we eat bullfrogs again tonight? If you want to eat, Mother will make it for you. Unknowingly, Daodu had also become a little gluttonous cat. After Zhao Yun had dinner, she killed all the bullfrogs. She cleaned them and put them away, waiting for them to be sent to the town tomorrow. If the people in the restaurant saw the appearance of the bullfrogs, they would probably find someone to catch them themselves and wouldn't buy them from her. Zhao Yun hoped that selling bullfrogs would be a long-term process of making money so that it could give her a guarantee for her life. After everything was done, Zhao Yun went to bed early. These days, Zhao Tianfu's food and drink were all with her, so he was too lazy to go back at night. He directly squeezed into a bed and slept with Zhao Yun. The 2 children slept soundly. Zhao Yun touched their sleeping faces and pulled the quilt over them. If she succeeded in making money this time, she should buy a quilt back. She couldn't continue to make do like this. Early the next morning, Zhao Yun got up and went to the city again. When she arrived at Old Man Hu's place, Lu Lei was already there, carrying a sack in his hand. Inside was the game to be sold today. Early in the morning, she saw Old Man Hu smoking a cigarette with obvious scars on his face. Zhao Yun asked, Old Man Hu, what happened to your face? Did you accidentally fall? Father Hu sighed and said, I didn't fall down. I was scratched by your grandmother. My grandmother? Yeah, didn't we come back early yesterday? As soon as your grandmother came back, she rushed to my house to reason with me, saying that I shouldn't have thrown her down, causing her to spend 30 copper coins in a carriage to come back. Zhao Yuner felt that Hu Chunhua was really weird. She was the one who didn't want to reason with Hu Chunhua, but in the end, she found someone else to reason with. However, it wasn't the first time that Hu Chunhua was unreasonable. After Father Hu finished speaking, the women in the car who knew the truth of the matter yesterday all condemned old Madame Hua. Alright, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's go, let's go. Old man Hu put down his pipe and chuckled. The ox cart started to move unsteadily. When Zhao Yun arrived in Sun City, she followed Lu Lei to one of the bigger restaurants in Sun City, Feline Restaurant. The game that Lu Lei sold had been compared with several restaurants, and this restaurant gave the most honest price. For a long time, Lu Lei had been working with this restaurant. The waiters in the restaurant already recognized Lu Lei, so Zhao Yun and Lu Lei successfully entered the backyard of the restaurant. The waiters inside were very busy, running back and forth. Chapter 137. Lu Lei smiled at the waiter of the restaurant and said, "It's okay, don't worry, I'll wait." But Zhao Yun looked around, curious about what the kitchen of this ancient restaurant looked like. After looking around, she found that the kitchen of this ancient restaurant was really big. Many cooks were busy working in the front and back, and there were also manservants in the kitchen. In ancient times, there was no gas or natural gas, so they used wood to cook, so it was more troublesome. A burst of fragrance floated out from the backyard. Zhao Yun and Lu Lei waited for about 20 minutes before the restaurant's shopkeeper came over. He was a man in his early 40s, dressed in black clothes, and his hair was neatly combed. Unlike other merchants, he did not have the air of a merchant. The shopkeeper, Sun Zhongquan, walked in front of Lu Lei and explained to him, "Today, an important guest came to the restaurant, so it was delayed." "Lu Lei, what did you send today? Let me see." Lu Lei took out his prey from the sack and said, "I just got it yesterday, it's still fresh." "I know, it's all alive, so it must be fresh. Go and weigh it, then I'll give you the money." Sun Zhongquan did not talk much nonsense with Lu Lei. He was simple and direct, and did not waste each other's time. This was why Lu Lei liked to deal with Sun Zhongquan. But Lu Lei nodded. Lu Lei's prey was much more than before, and this time he sold it for more than 800 copper coins. Zhao was a little envious, but at the same time, she was happy for Lu Lei. "Shopkeeper, then you continue with your work, I'll leave first." Lu Lei said goodbye. "But wait," Zhao Yun suddenly said. Lu Lei and Sun Zhongquan both looked at Zhao Yun. Lu Lei knew that Zhao Yun came to the restaurant today to sell something, but he was in a hurry to leave, so he forgot. Sun Zhongquan asked, "Miss, what's the matter?" Zhao Yun put down the basket on her back, then took out the washed bullfrog meat and put it in front of Sun Zhongquan. "Shopkeeper, this is what I brought. Take a look and see if you accept it." Sun Zhongquan's attitude was not bad. He did not ignore Zhao Yun. "Little girl, what is this?" Sun Zhongquan didn't recognize the bullfrog meat made by Zhao Yun. He had been running the restaurant for many years and had seen many ingredients. "Shopkeeper, this is a bullfrog. I caught it from my family. It tastes pretty good." Although Zhao Yun said so, Sun Zhongquan did not have much interest. "Miss, I've never seen this thing before, so I don't know if it's edible. Besides, even if it's edible, my chef hasn't made it before, and my customers haven't eaten it before, so I might not be able to sell it. Usually, the restaurant sends a lot of ingredients over." Sun Zhongquan's meaning was obvious. He didn't want to accept it. In fact, it was understandable. The restaurant was not willing to take the risk of casually bringing something over. Sun Zhongquan was being polite. If it was someone else, she would have been kicked out of the restaurant. Chapter 138. "This, manager, why don't you let her try it? You won't lose out anyway," Lu Lei chimed in from the side. Sun Zhongquan thought for a moment and nodded. The competition in the restaurant business in Yang City was still quite fierce. If there were no fresh and special dishes that other restaurants didn't have, it would be difficult to attract customers. If Zhao Yun did well this time, it wouldn't hurt to use it. Thank you, manager, Zhao Yun said with a smile. As long as she was given a chance, it would be easy. Manager, let me borrow your kitchen for a while. Sun Zhongquan led Zhao Yun into the kitchen. There were more pots in the kitchen, so he let Zhao Yun have one. Before cooking, Zhao Yun first washed the bullfrog and then drained the water. She poured some oil into the pot, and after heating it up, she added star anise, chili, pepper, garlic, and ginger and stir-fried it until it was fragrant. Then she added some cooking wine, soy sauce, salt, and sugar and stir-fried it until it was smooth. Then she added a little water and continued to stir-fry it. After about 3 to 5 minutes, the broth had dried up, and a pot of boiled bullfrog was ready to be served. The fragrant smell immediately attracted the attention of the surrounding people. What is this? Why is it so fragrant? Yeah, it smells so good. I've never seen it before. We don't know. Where did this little girl get it? I don't know. Anyway, smelling this fragrance, it should taste good. Sun Zhongquan looked at Zhao Yun, who was cooking very neatly. Her cooking skills were not inferior to the chefs in the restaurant. He couldn't help but take a few more glances at Zhao Yun. This girl's cooking skills seemed to be good. Zhao Yun scooped up the cooked bullfrog, filling 2 plates. The other chefs in the restaurant couldn't help but come over, wanting to taste the bullfrog. Come, manager, try it, Zhao Yun said and handed over the chopsticks. Sun Zhongquan nodded. All right. After picking up a piece and putting it into his mouth, Sun Zhongxuan's eyes widened at the delicious taste, tender meat and aroma of the bullfrog. This taste is really good, delicious, delicious. Sun Zhongquan praised as he spoke. Manager, can we try it? The other chefs were also eager to give it a try. Come on, have a taste. Don't blame me for saying that there aren't many dishes in our restaurant that can compare with this. Chef, who was originally unconvinced, also repeatedly praised it after tasting it. The smell was right there, and it was impossible not to be convinced. Shopkeeper, what do you think? Do you think I can buy it? Sun Zhongquan pondered for a while and still had some concerns. But what if the food we tried is delicious and the customers don't know about it and don't want to order it? How about this, shopkeeper? I'll send you the ingredients for the next few days. You can give them to the customers for free. After a few days, you can check the situation and decide to buy from me. Then we can talk about the price, okay? This method didn't have any losses for Sun Zhongquan. Even if he wanted to refuse, he couldn't find a way to do so. That was good too. The customers wouldn't refuse to give it away for free. If they liked it, they would definitely order it. All right then. Little girl, you really know how to do business. It's my honor that manager is willing to give me this opportunity. Chapter 139. After the two of them reached an agreement, Zhao Yun told them about Bullfrog's method and taught it to a few chefs. However, they agreed that when Sun Zhongquan sold bullfrogs, he could only purchase them from her place. Manager, these are just 2 bullfrog recipes. When we officially cooperate, I'll tell you some other recipes. Alright, Sun Zhongquan replied. When Zhao Yun was about to leave, a waiter hurriedly ran to Sun Zhongquan and said, Manager, young Master Helian said that the dishes in our restaurant are too bad and asked us to serve a few more dishes. He's treating people to a meal today, and our restaurant's dishes are not good enough to serve guests. Sun Zhongquan frowned and looked very troubled. This young Master Helian was not someone he could offend casually. It was not easy for him to come here, so he had to seize the opportunity. He would be a big financial backer in the future. Then make a few more dishes. Sun Zhongquan instructed the chefs to cook quickly until this financial backer was satisfied. Manager, didn't this young lady just make one? I think the taste is not bad. I think young Master Helian will like it. If it doesn't work, can we serve it to young Master Helian first? Let's hurry up and make more. We can't let young Master Helian wait too long, a chef suggested. Yes. Hurry up and bring it over. Sun Zhongquan called out. When Zhao Yun heard these people mention young Master Helian. She guessed if it was Helianchen. There were not many people with the surname Helian in Yang City. Looking at Sun Zhangxuan's attitude, this young Master Helian's identity was definitely not ordinary. Connecting all these factors, only Helianchen was left. Alright. The waiter carried the dishes away eagerly. After a while, he scurried back and said to Sun Zhangquan, "Manager, young Master Helian said it was delicious after tasting it. He said he wants another bowl." "Ah, that's good." Sun Zhangquan heaved a sigh of relief. Sun Zhangquan smiled and called out to his chef to make more dishes according to Zhao Yun's previous recipe. The waiter continued, "Shopkeeper, young Master Helian also said that he doesn't know what kind of meat this is and has never eaten it before. He wants the chef who makes this dish here to go over and explain." Sun Zhangquan was struck dumb for a second. He had only heard from Zhao Yun'er that it was a bullfrog, but he didn't know what kind of meat it was. He didn't dare to answer Helianchen's question and only said that it was bullfrog meat. If Helianchen continued to ask and he couldn't answer, Helianchen might get angry. Therefore, Zhao Yun'er still had to go over and explain to Helianchen. "Miss, if you're not in a hurry to go back, is it convenient for you to explain to my guest?" Sun Zhangxuan's attitude was very polite. Zhao Yun'er could not refuse. She was the one who had sold this thing, so she had to explain it clearly. Thus, he replied, "Yes, shopkeeper." Sun Zhangquan asked the waiter to bring Zhao Yun'er to the private room. Zhao Yun'er arrived in front of the private room. When she pushed the door open and entered, the person inside was indeed Helianchen. And sitting beside Helianchen was Mu Lianfeng. The moment she saw Mu Lianfeng, Zhao Yun'er was slightly stunned. She didn't expect to see him again, and in such a short period of time. However, Mu Lianfeng's expression didn't look very good. The moment Mu Lianfeng saw Zhao Yun'er, his eyes lit up, and his originally gloomy expression finally looked much better. Chapter 140. That woman's appearance was not bad. She looked like she was 16 or 17 years old. She was dressed in peach-colored clothes and was very gorgeous and pretty. There was a golden hairpin on her head and tassels hanging down from her forehead. She was really a lovely and beautiful lady. Zhao Yun'er felt that even if she were a woman, she would be attracted to her. This ancient era did not seem like the 21st century. There was not much makeup on her face, so she still had a very pure feeling. Helianchen looked up and saw Zhao Yun'er. He hurriedly greeted Zhao Yun'er with a smile. "Miss Yun'er, why are you here?" Zhao Yun'er smiled and nodded at Helianchen as a greeting. She pointed at the bullfrog on the table and said to Helianchen, "Young Master Helian, didn't you say yourself that you wanted to know what this is?" Helianchen glanced at the bullfrog and was stunned. Then he smiled and said, "Miss Yun'er, did you make this?" I was wondering why it was so delicious. Your culinary skills are naturally needless to say. But why did you come to Feline Restaurant to cook? Could it be that you became a chef here?" Zhao Yun'er smiled and shook her head. Her culinary skills were all right and could make people feel that the taste was not bad. However, compared to these professional chefs, there were still many shortcomings. "Then why?" Helianchen asked curiously. "Why do you have so many whys?" Mu Lianfeng scolded Helianchen unhappily. Helianchen looked at Mu Lianfeng. "Ah Feng, why are you pretending? Am I not helping you to ask? Don't tell me you don't want to know." Mu Lianfeng's mouth twitched, but he did not refute. Mu Lianfeng's reaction made the woman sitting at the side a little unhappy. Her gaze could not help but fall on Zhao Yun'er with a trace of hostility in her eyes. "Cousin, who is she?" Murong Shuang asked. Her cousin usually didn't care about any woman, even to her. He had a cold and indifferent attitude, but to Zhao Yun'er, it was a little different. Mu Lianfeng glared at Helianchen. This fellow must have said this in front of his cousin on purpose. Helianchen looked at Mu Lianfeng gloatingly. Mu Lianfeng touched his forehead and said, "Not anyone, just a friend of mine." Murong Shuang remained skeptical. "Friends? Cousin, she's just a country bumpkin. How can you be friends with someone like her?" Murong Shuang looked at Zhao Yun'er with a hint of disgust in her eyes. Zhao Yun'er frowned when she heard Murong Shuang's words. What kind of words were these? Just because their statuses were different and the difference was too great, they couldn't be friends with others? The corners of her mouth curled up with a sarcastic smile. Perhaps what Murong Shuang said was the most normal thing in the eyes of the people of this era. In the eyes of others, she and Mu Lianfeng were not even fit to be friends, let alone be together. Mu Lianfeng's mouth twitched, and he looked at Zhao Yun, worriedly, afraid that Zhao Yun would be angry. What he saw was Zhao Yun's calm face. "Cousin, do you still want to care who I'm friends with?" Mu Lianfeng replied indifferently, but Murong Shuang knew that Mu Lianfeng was angry. "Cousin," Gu Ning said. Chapter 141. How dare she seduce her cousin's woman? She would never let her go. The reason why she didn't speak now was because she didn't want Mu Lianfeng to be angry. Anyway, some things could be done behind the scenes. There was no need to make Mu Lianfeng unhappy. "Sister Shuang, Miss Yun is very good. It's okay to be friends. She's also my friend." Helianchen also chimed in. Zhao Yun felt the hostility from Murong Shuang. She guessed that Murong Shuang must like Mu Lianfeng, which was why she treated her like this. There was an indescribable feeling in her heart. It was a little bitter. Zhao Yun couldn't force a smile. She changed the topic and pointed at the bullfrog on the table to explain to Helianchen, "This dish is made with bullfrog. You probably haven't eaten it before. That's why you think it's delicious." "What's a bullfrog?" It's something that looks a little like a toad." When Zhao Yun finished speaking, the people in the private room immediately felt their stomachs churn. They were so disgusted that they were about to vomit. Because it was Murong Shuang's first time tasting that kind of delicious taste, she also ate a lot just now. After Zhao Yun finished speaking, she retched and slapped the table. Then she stood up and pointed at Zhao Yun and reprimanded, "You bitch, you actually let me eat this. Do you want to die? How can you even serve such a disgusting thing? Let's see if you'll be punished later." After Murong Shuang finished speaking, she pulled Mu Lianfeng's hand and said, "Cousin, look at her. Just thinking about it makes me sick. She actually let us eat this kind of thing." Mu Lianfeng endured the discomfort in his chest. In fact, he was also disgusted. Helianchen simply retched under the table. Zhao Yun frowned even deeper. Weren't these people's reactions a little too exaggerated? If she had known, she wouldn't have mentioned the toad. Cough cough. After Helianchen coughed heavily a few times, he said to Zhao Yun, "Miss Yun, how can this toad be eaten?" "I only said it looks like a toad. It's not a toad. Bullfrogs can be eaten. You've also tasted it. It's delicious and its meat is very tender. Other meat can't compare to it. It's really not a toad?" Helianchen still asked with uncertainty. "If it is, you should be poisoned now. Aren't you fine now?" Helianchen thought about it and agreed. He didn't feel any discomfort after eating it. He let out a long sigh of relief. "It's good that it's not. Miss Yun, you really scared me to death. If it's a toad, I reckon that I won't be able to eat for a few days." "Don't worry. Not everything can be placed on the table. I know that. But because bullfrogs look a little similar to toads, no one eats them now. That's why they don't know the taste of bullfrogs. Miss Yun, if you say so, then it's this young master's honor?" Zhao Yun said with a smile, "I didn't expect young Master Helian to eat it on the first day I sent it to the restaurant. It's fate, right?" Helianchen nodded and said, Yes. It means that this young master should eat it. This young master has also tasted many delicacies. This is the first time I've eaten this." Chapter 142. Zhao Yun was very uncomfortable with Murong Shuang holding on to her and not letting go. She had really offended someone for no reason at all. "Then how do you want to punish me?" Zhao Yun replied. "What kind of attitude is this? Shouldn't a country bumpkin be polite to me when you see me? If you want to admit your mistake, you should be more humble." Zhao Yun only felt that it was funny. How did she know that she was going to admit her mistake? However, when she heard Murong Shuang call herself a princess, she understood why Murong Shuang was so arrogant. Wasn't it because of her identity? Princess, I didn't do anything wrong. This thing is not poisonous and can still be eaten. It tastes good and is a normal dish. I'm sure you'll be happy eating it. Why are you blaming me now? Zhao Yun couldn't help but reply. You talk to me like this? Even if you don't say disgusting things, I can punish you for your crime. Zhao Yun smiled slightly. Princess, if you use your connections, you can punish me for my crime. However, according to the laws of Dezhou country, there shouldn't be any crime that can punish me for, right? In order to understand more about the world she had transmigrated to, Zhao Yun had also studied the laws here before. She knew that what Murong Shuang did was not punishable, so she was not disrespectful to Murong Shuang. Of course, Zhao Yun's words were for Murong Shuang to hear. If this woman really punished her, then she would be instigating an official to bend the law for personal gain. The Zhou country had a related crime for instigating an official to bend the law for personal gain. Even if Murong Shuang was a princess, she could not escape the punishment of the law. Murong Shuang actually didn't know what to say for a moment. Helian Qin and Murong Feng both glanced at Zhao Yun. They didn't expect Zhao Yun to be so good at talking. She could actually make Murong Shuang speechless. Usually, Murong Shuang was extremely arrogant. She had always been the one to talk to others, and no one had ever talked to her. Zhao Yun stood straight. She didn't do anything wrong. What was there to be afraid of? All right, cousin, don't be so unforgiving. You just ate and said it was delicious. Isn't it a little inappropriate to blame others now? Since you find it disgusting, why don't you stop eating it next time? Cousin, seeing how Mu Lianfeng was so protective of Zhao Yun, Murong Shuang stomped her feet in anger. She wanted to say something, but when she met Mu Lianfeng's cold eyes, she lowered her head. Zhao Yun did not want to stay here any longer. She said to Mu Lianfeng and Helian Qin, if there's nothing else, I'll go back first. The ox cart back to the village will be leaving soon. Helian Qin and Mu Lianfeng did not know what to say. Mu Lianfeng also knew that it was useless for Zhao Yun to stay here any longer. It would only make Murong Shuang more hostile. All right, Miss Yun, be careful on the road. But Zhao Yun turned and left the private room. After bidding farewell to Sun Zhongquan, she left Feline restaurant with Lu Lei. Upstairs, Mu Lianfeng happened to open the window to get some fresh air. When he looked down, he saw Zhao Yun and Lu Lei walking side by side. The two of them were talking and laughing together. Looking at the sweet smile on Zhao Yun's face, Mu Lianfeng did not know why he felt uncomfortable in his heart. Chapter 143. Zhao Yun and Lu Lei hadn't eaten breakfast yet. It was still early, only around 8 or 9 o'clock. Father Hu's carriage wouldn't leave until around 10 o'clock, so they still had a lot of time. There were many breakfast shops in town. Lu Lei took Zhao Yun to a noodle stall and sat down. He said to Zhao Yun, the noodles in this noodle shop taste good. I used to come here often to eat. The most important thing is that it's affordable and the quantity is large. I can eat my fill every time I eat here. Zhao Yun smiled. She didn't care where they ate. Since Lu Lei wanted to eat here, then so be it. There were a few tables and chairs in the stall. The people who came to eat the noodles sat at the table. A fragrant smell wafted into Zhao Yun's nose. Zhao Yun took a deep breath. It was so fragrant. The people at the table seemed to be eating very happily. They held the bowls and ate, making waves of noises. Lu Lei and Zhao Yun found an empty seat and sat down. Lu Lei smiled at Zhao Yun and said, Yun, I made a lot of money today. I'll treat you to this meal. Lu Dalai, there's no need for that. I appreciate your kindness. You don't have to be polite with me. I've never treated you to a meal. This is the first time. Zhao Yun thought about it and agreed. She said to Lu Lei, Brother Lei, okay, you treat me to a meal. But let's make a deal. When I make money later, I'll treat you to a meal too. Lu Lei agreed in one breath. Hey, I'll treat you this time. When you make money later, you can treat me again. The two of them reached an agreement, and a smile appeared on Lu Lei's face. After a while, the stall owner came up to greet them with a smile. Hello, two guests. What would you like to eat? I want a bowl of plain noodles, Zhao Yun said. She didn't want to eat too well, as it would cost Lu Lei more money. Zhao Yun still wanted to save as much as possible. After all, it wasn't easy for Lu Lei to earn money, and he risked his life to bring back these praise. Lu Lei hurriedly said to the stall owner, No plain noodles. Give her a bowl of beef noodles. All right. The stall owner replied with a smile. Zhao Yuna looked at Lu Lei. Lu Lei explained, Yuna, what's so good about noodles? Why don't you cook them at home? His beef noodles are very fragrant and delicious. But it's also expensive. Zhao Yuna was distressed about the money. In ancient times, beef was twice as expensive as pork. After all, in ancient times, cows were used for farming. Under normal circumstances, cows were rarely killed for food. Of course, in the 21st century, beef was much more expensive than pork. It's okay, Yuna. Try it. It's delicious. Anyway, it's not often. It's not easy to treat you to a meal. You don't have to be so polite. Are you eating it? If you don't eat it, I'll feel bad if I eat it alone. Lu Lei gritted his teeth. Okay, I'll eat it too. Yuner, let's each have a bowl. But therefore, Zhao Yuner and Lu Lei ordered 2 bowls of beef noodles together. About 10 minutes later, the noodles were served. A stronger beef aroma made Zhao Yuner salivate. She admitted that she was also greedy. She hadn't tasted beef for a long time. In her previous life, beef was her favorite. Chapter 144. The bottom of the big bowl was full of noodles, and the top was a layer of beef. The beef was stir-fried with chili. When it was poured into the bowl, even the originally light soup had a spicy taste. Zhao Yun liked spicy food, so the beef noodles were the most suitable for her taste. Zhao Yun and Lu Lei looked at each other and began to eat. Lu Lei usually didn't eat anything good, so a bowl of beef noodles was very precious to him. Men who worked ate fast, so in less than 5 minutes, Lu Lei had already swallowed the noodles. After Lu Lei finished eating, he wiped his mouth with his sleeve. It was very casual. The people in the countryside were not so particular, so they were basically casual. Zhao Yue looked at the half bowl of noodles left in her bowl and said with a smile, Brother Lei, you ate so fast. Are you full? I still have some here. Do you want some? After Zhao Yun finished speaking, Lu Lei hurriedly waved his hand and said, No, Yun, you can eat by yourself. I'm full. Really? Of course. How can I not be full with such a big bowl? Zhao Yun nodded and said with a smile, Okay then, Brother Lei, I'll eat. Eat ye. You're too thin. You should eat more. It's not good for girls to be too thin. It'll hurt when I carry you like that. Cough, cough. Zhao Yun coughed violently a few times. Some chili was stuck in her throat, and there was some burning pain. What's wrong? Lu Lei asked, looking at Zhao Yun with concern. I'm fine. Zhao Yun continued to cough. She was just shocked by Lu Lei's words and accidentally choked herself. This guy, could it be that he knew how to hold a thin woman before? Come, drink some water. Lu Lei picked up a bowl of water and gave it to Zhao Yun. After Zhao Yun gulped down 2 mouthfuls of cold water, her throat immediately felt better. Yun, eat slowly. Don't rush. All right. Zhao Yun lowered her head and continued eating. After the two of them finished eating, Lu Lei bought some ingredients, rice, oil, and salt. The two of them then returned to Papa Hu's ox cart. The woman who went to the town today couldn't help but complain, Sigh, business is getting worse and worse these days. After selling for so long, my throat is sore. I wonder how much money I can sell. What can we do? What we're selling isn't anything good. Everyone has it. It's not easy to earn money. I can't live anymore. Don't say that, take your time. Which family has it easy? When the women were sighing, they saw Zhao Yun and Lu Lei coming over. The two of them were talking and laughing. They must have made a lot of money. Thus, she asked sarcastically, "Yuner girl, you made a lot of money this time, right?" As she spoke, the woman stretched her head towards Zhao Yuner's basket. "The things are all gone. That means they're sold out." Zhao Yuner was very disgusted by other people's behavior. She didn't want to bother with that woman. Perhaps it was because the business today wasn't very good and she thought that Zhao Yuner had made money, so she was in a bad mood. She said angrily to Zhao Yuner, "What's with your attitude, girl? I'm asking you a question. You're mute and not talking. What does it have to do with you whether I make money or not? Who are you to me? Do I have to talk to you?" Chapter 145. Zhao Yun replied indifferently. She just couldn't understand why some people liked to cause trouble for no reason. She didn't say anything. How did she provoke others? Of course, Zhao Yun didn't know that others were just jealous of her. "Damn girl, you people from old Zhao's family are really the same. You're just like that old woman Hua." The woman Zhao Yun didn't know what to say. She could only start to scold Zhao Yun in desperation. "I am me. Don't put me together with anyone." Zhao Yun warned her. Her eyes were a little cold, which frightened the woman. "Oh, if you don't want to say it, then don't say it. But it's useless no matter how much money you make. Anyway, you can't buy land or the foundation to build a house. You'll give it to old Zhao's family later. Why are you so arrogant in front of me?" The woman continued to speak unwillingly. After speaking, she turned her head away. Zhao Yun was angry at the woman's inexplicable words, but she suddenly caught the message in the woman's words. What she said wasn't wrong. The Great Zhou country's laws also stated that purchasing land and foundations required a household register. It was just like buying and selling real estate at the age of 21. One had to register their identity. In ancient times, the household registration was managed by special people in the county government. If one bought land, they had to register it again. However, Zhao Yun and Dao Du were only driven out by old Zhao's family. They didn't leave old Zhao's household registration. If she wanted to buy land, she could first go through old Zhao's family. Second, she could set up her own household and buy it herself. Of course, old Zhao's family had to agree to the separation, and Li Zheng had to nod his head. Then, she could go to the county government to file the record. Thinking of this, Zhao Yun frowned. She felt that it was very troublesome. She had to separate before she had a good life. Otherwise, when she had money in the future, she couldn't do these things. She would be targeted by old Zhao's family. Zhao Yun thought about it for a while, and there was another way. That was when the old Zhao family would split up. When the time came, they would automatically split up. Therefore, when she went back, she could work with her parents to separate the three branches. When Lu Lei saw that Zhao Yun was deep in thought and didn't speak, he thought that Zhao Yun was angry with that woman. He comforted her, "Yun, don't worry about what others say. You'll only make yourself angry." Zhao Yun smiled. "I know, Brother Lei Zi. I understand what you're saying. It's like a dog biting me. I can't bite it back." Lu Lei was amused by Zhao Yun. How come he didn't know that Zhao Yun had such an unforgiving side? However, he liked it very much. "Who are you calling a dog?" The woman who had just quarreled with Zhao Yun jumped out angrily again. Zhao Yun faintly retorted, "Did I say it was you? Why are you in such a hurry to jump out and admit it? You little b*****, I really have to teach you a lesson." Old father who saw that a fight was about to break out again, so he quickly knocked on the tobacco pipe. "Hey, stop quarreling. Let's go back to the village. If you're still quarreling, get off the carriage." The woman obediently shut her mouth. Zhao Yun naturally couldn't be bothered to make a move. If she really made a move, she would be able to beat a big man like her, let alone a woman. It was a matter that could be solved in minutes. The carriage slowly arrived at Shui Lan village. On the way, Zhao Yun was thinking about how to instigate Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao to split up. Chapter 146. When Zhao Yun returned to Shuilan village, Daodu and Zhao Tianfu were both at home. They didn't run around. When little He saw that Zhao Yun had returned, he barked a few times at Zhao Yun. However, it was the kind of bark that warmly welcomed its owner back. Mother! Daodu trotted over. Zhao Yun patted Daodu's head. Are you hungry? Mother will cook for you. Daodu nodded heavily. Mother, look, little uncle and I caught a lot of bullfrogs and put them in the bucket. Zhao Yun patted Daodu's head encouragingly. Daodu and little uncle are awesome. Then, did mother sell any bullfrogs today? Of course, I'll sell more in the future. When the time comes, mother will be able to earn a lot of money and buy a lot of delicious food for Daodu. Daodu seemed to be very happy. Catching bullfrogs not only could make money, but it was also fun. Therefore, Daodu was even more excited. At noon, Zhao Yun steamed the buns from yesterday and fried 2 side dishes. It was quite satisfying. After lunch, Zhao Yun asked Daodu to look after the house while she secretly stuffed a few buns into her sleeve. She was going to give them to Liang Jinxiao later and discuss the separation of the family. Yesterday, she didn't give any buns to her parents. She knew that old Zhao's family would probably keep an eye on Zhao Tianfu if they caught Zhao Tianfu delivering the buns once. If she let Zhao Tianfu take the things back, he would be easily discovered. When Zhao Tianfu was discovered again, many of the good things that the third branch didn't expect would be eaten by others. When Zhao Yun arrived at old Zhao's house was still very lively. In ancient times, most of the people were from big families. Each family had dozens of members, especially those that had not been separated. Zhao Yun was very familiar with this place from the memories of the original owner. After all, she had lived here since she was young. Old Zhao's house was a common adobe house in the countryside. The house was built decades ago when Zhao Baoshan and Hu Chunhua had just gotten married. The house faced south, with 3 rooms in each direction. The first branch and his wife shared a room, while the eldest cousin and his wife shared a room. The second branch, third branch, and fourth branch were all in the 3 rooms on the west side. Zhao Xinhui's room in the north was next to Hu Chuanhua's room. The room in the east was used as the kitchen, and the remaining room in the north was used as a storeroom. Therefore, although there were many rooms in old Zhao's house, it was still a little crowded with so many people living together. Basically, one family lived in one room. Old Zhao's yard was also surrounded by a fence. There were 2 jujube trees in the yard. They were very tall and had been there for more than 10 or 20 years. Usually, they would stay under the trees to enjoy the cool air. When the jujubes ripened, they could be harvested. The jujubes could be sold for 1 copper coin per kilogram in town. Therefore, old Zhao's family treasured them and was unwilling to cut them down. When they saw Zhao Yun come over, old Zhao's family members all looked at Zhao Yun. I really saw a ghost. Why did this girl come over? Li Chuanying put down the things in his hands and looked curiously at Zhao Yun. Father, mother, come over and take a look. Here's back. Li Chuanying greeted. Zhao Yun's mouth twitched. This Li Chuanying spoke in a strange tone, as if he was trying to stir up trouble. There were many people in the yard. Some were playing and some were working. Zhao Yun saw that her mother was washing things. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.